Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GRAPPL Weekender for Thursday, the 16th of July, 2026. I'm Benno.
And I'm Matty, and I might be getting off if you keep that as the show.
Behind the scenes, Matty was trying to fix some of his audio, so I pulled the old switcheroo and changed the graphic there for the video viewers of the real main event of Saturday night's main event this week, mate. Danhausen, he's headlining MSG, mate. I can't wait to chat it over with you later today.
Mate, he's going to be so over, though, with all that new Nick stuff that went on. So fucking hell, mate, I'm dreading it. Absolutely. Me dreading a WWE show, Benno. Who would have thought it?
Oh, well, I'm hoping you're in a better mood. Obviously, we are here for the Weekender, and I did get the name right as well, Matty. Matty's in the notes right now, and he'll have seen that I put the word Weekender in like 12 times as big font as everything else.
Yes,
and it's in red, or which might be blue for Matty. Who knows?
Mate, it's not even a colour.
Backstage, Matty's claiming yellow's not yellow, but we'll figure that out as we go. Post it on the Discord later, Matty. I swear that
I will.
Is yellow, but we'll get to the bottom of what Matty called turquoise. But yeah, obviously, good to have you on, and like I say, the Weekender is now the new free show on the main feed. So if you didn't hear us last week, we obviously kicked it off last week with the first ever GRAPPL Weekender, which really is the GRAPPL Weekend show to end the week / start the week. I don't know if the week really starts on a Friday or not, but this will be the show in your feeds going forward every single week as we try to wrap up the week and also look ahead to the weekend of wrestling as well. And yeah, I did have a quick chat with JP on the live for patrons on Tuesday, which is where you'll find those types of shows as well as our spotlight reviews going forward. And yeah, last time I spoke to you, mate, we were doing a little 5-1 at the weekend, mate. But I believe you've been up to a few things since then, mate. Down to London and back, all kinds going on in the world of Matty.
Yeah, but
and England lost too. Should probably mention that too. Yeah.
First of all, though, Ben, I've got to say I'm honoured. Making like a debut here on the revamped weekend show, the Weekender. So this is a bit of pressure, this, Ben. This is a good way to start this. But yeah, Ben, we'll ignore England because I don't want to talk about because I'll be annoyed. Well, let's talk it then because fucking hell, I was so confident, and then we had it, and then why the hell, literally, I'll say we in the semi-finals, Ben.
Traitor to your people, you mate. Unbelievable.
England then scored. And literally retreated back, like genuinely from the minute they scored. It was like, and yes, we knew they couldn't fucking hold on. Genuinely wouldn't. And I think I throw in every group that they were going to lose it. Once the RG scored one, they were going to score again. It was embarrassing, really. It was pure naivety. If this was Southgate, he'd be getting I haven't seen the discourse today. Don't know if he's been nailed.
Oh, it's worse. He's German, isn't he? So, it's an easy excuse, isn't it? Not blame the players, just blame the German manager, and you sort it. I don't know how anyone was shocked. Like, Dave, you messaged me last night saying he had invested, yes, and I just ignored him because I didn't want to ruin his night. I think he was hosting at an England watch-along somewhere in a bar in Toronto somewhere, but, no, I wasn't. I was moved by Jordan Pickford, and then by the end of the match, I got really moved by the fact that, literally, mate, you just got the Everton experience. Like, that's what you get with David Moyes, put some centre-backs at full-back, protect your 1-0 lead for, pretty much most of the game, thinking that just not attacking at all will sort it out, having no out ball, be it refusing to take off your big stars, the people that you're loyal to, like Kane and Bellingham. Like that's pure David Moyes, mate. It's normal for me.
Mate, Harry Kane should have went off. Like, I like him, love him. He's great in that, but he should have been off at the 60th minute. Watkins should have been on for an out ball. And it doesn't matter. And I'll steal this from another group chat I was in. There should never be a time in your life, let alone a World Cup semi-final, where the commentary line is Ezri Konsa whipping in the ball to Dan Burn. That shouldn't be. That should not just exist in life. I'd say, let alone in a semi-final of a World Cup. When you're desperate for a goal. When you're desperate for a goal, it's embarrassing. I mean, it ended up that way. He threw all his eggs in the basket, and it backfired big time, mate. All the manager, but you can't blame the players. You can't for this one, mate. It's solely on him. Bad. Oh, well, at least this is the Euros in 2 years, mate, and it'll be in Liverpool too, so it'll be fine, mate. It'll come home then, hopefully, maybe. Probably. For me, Ben, right? Honestly, I'm not. This is the World Cup final, the pinnacle of football, and I could care less about it on Sunday. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not invested. I don't care who wins, though. I'm probably leaning towards Spain, but then I go, well, and I'm not a big Messi lover. But I'd be like, well, at least Messi will get a second World Cup and, etc. I'm literally not asked, but we'll see. Would it shock anyone to know Matty's a Ronaldo over Messi, man? I hate them both now, though, Benno. Okay, fair enough. Hate them equally, okay. I hate them fucking both now because, listen, they're ruining it. I know Messi's still listen, they appease Messi and still play, and he can still move more than Ronaldo. Ronaldo's playing is embarrassing at the minute. It's padding stats out, and that is what it is. But ever since he went to like Saudi and that, it's just retire, innit? You've got enough money. Same dude for the love of the game. He's on about £1 million a second, isn't he? You know what I mean? All that bollocks. Yeah. So it's a load of nonsense. They all need to retire. That's what I say.
This is like you were there when WWE's bad. It's like, yeah, I know all wrestling's bad, isn't it? Right now, it's just terrible. You know, AEW could put the best shows of all time. No, it's just all bad. I get the way you think, mate. 100% understand it. But no, like I say, I did stay up last night and watch it. It was 2 a.m. my time. I had the same problem I mentioned to JP on the Patreon live on Tuesday. Of the bars were full. Like I live on the main bar street here in Danhausen, and like when a goal went in, I'd hear a cheer in the street, and then 10 seconds later it'd go in on me telly. It was driving me mad. But there were a couple of times where the actual cheer was a Pickford save, so I was all right waiting for that to come in and cheer along with him. But no, didn't grab me this shit. To be honest, I'm more go to France again. Fuck me World Cup fantasy team there. I'm still trying to finish above the 2 Ogdens at this point in that, and Chris Elliott, so need to maybe make some changes. But the thing is that we've got the woke nonsense of the third place playoff coming up this weekend, mate. So I'm going to ask you at the end of the show what your plans are. I'm sure that's your big Saturday night, you know. Like,
no, Ben, doesn't exist, honestly. Mate. The bronze final exists, mate. Fuck the 3rd and 4th place playoff. That's what they call it. The bronze final. That's embarrassing as well. Needs spun the bit. Needs whole revamp the game. It does. That's what
Tuchel said, wasn't it? He said to him, "Oh, what about your future?" And he was like, "Well, we've got a big game on Saturday, so we can't talk about it right now." It's like, do you, mate? Do you really? But, I feel for you all. I feel for the crying kids at home. Maybe that, maybe I've got some family members who'd be more arsed than me, mate. But did you man? I was going to say, did you wipe away your tears? But before it, but we won't have a week. We'll say like the schedule is a bit different this weekend. We're doing the show with Hamflet, the Bash at the Beach '98 show, but it'll be Monday, so we can do it with Michael, which means the weekend people will be getting a special Bretcher episode, which I'll go into in a minute, or I'll let you go into in a minute, mate. But it does mean there won't be any live pre-show this weekend, so I feel like I want to get it out of you, mate. Our System of a Down in London as well while we're chatting. Look like a great time on Monday night down there.
Mate, Ben, it was unbelievable. Like it was. It's first time obviously going to the Tottenham Stadium. That was great in itself. But wildly, I put it in our metal chat with Martin and Gareth. It's like
you got a metal chat.
Got a metal chat.
Just the Metal Evolution chat. Okay, that makes sense. New episode coming soon, I think. We need to talk about that. Got a gap in the schedule there.
But like, it was one of them first time I've ever been to a stadium gig, which shocked myself, Benno. When I was putting all the list together I've been to, I was like, this is my first stadium show, so I was a bit apprehensive of like not the band itself. Yeah, no, I mean for music, Ben. Well, that is music.
It's a show.
You can class it as like, but
who played? I'm sure that didn't someone perform this year? Was it Bad Bunny or someone?
No, it was Joe Jonas performed.
There you go. There's your gig.
But it's like you're sitting high. Can you see them? Can you hear them? Does the sound good, mate? Honestly, the stadium was amazing.
Videos are good, like.
Yeah, and honestly, the lads, the absolute lads, capital letters, nailed it out the park. The original lineup, just all 29 songs as well. Didn't breathe for air for 2.5 hours, Benno. Unbelievable energy, non-stop. And it's one of them. System were always a band from obviously that era that I've never left, Benno, the Kerrang era. But they were never one of my like proper bands. Obviously, you couldn't avoid them, and the albums were big at the time.
No, one song particularly. Still can't go the crazy house without playing though.
Oh, Chopsy, were you on about? Yeah, but I loved it though because it was one of them. Me and Michael always text each other. You mentioned Hamflet there, and Sugar was the last song that they done, and it's pre-Toxicity. And I just texted him. I said, mate, having the best time here. But what WWF pay-per-view was this a video package for? And straight away, don't doubt each other. We just know we're both on the same wavelength. Within 30 seconds of messaging, I had all the stills of the matches, and I had the pay-per-view fucking announcement. Just Unforgiven 99 for anyone who isn't doing the thing at home there. But honestly, Ben, just one of the in my top 3 gigs I've ever been to. Yeah, honestly, just so fucking good. Musically, lyrically, everything sounded amazing. Just everything, mate. Just one of the best ever. And London as well, Ben. Any chance to going down to London as we've...
I was going to say, where were the post-show pints? And I'm guessing your Gary was dressed in 2002 gimmick wear, basketball top, I'm guessing, shorts with a little chain coming out the side as well.
He wasn't as bad, He wasn't, but on the way home, because the White Hart Lane station closed early, and it can't handle the volume of people there anyway. It really can't. It's literally in the middle of a housing estate, isn't it, the stadium? So we had to got sent to Seven Sisters, is it called? The next station down. And you know me, Ben, as we're walking along eating lovely Jamaican food, bit of jerk chicken on the bone, Ben, rice, peas and chips, you know what I mean? Loving it. I just heard Marilyn Manson, Tainted Love, from over the road getting played in this random pub, and I thought to Gary,
and all of a sudden Liam stepped out, with a superhero cape on and pulled you in.
I just said to Gary, we're going in. We didn't have no plan. I said, we've got to go in there. So we got in. This was like 11 o'clock. Mate, you couldn't move in this. It was a normal, looked like one of those Green Kings is, JP Love's, just one of them normal bars with the outside bit, but it had been took over by everyone from that gig, and all that was played for the last 2 hours was like Deftones, Korn, and the atmosphere in there was amazing. Obviously got told to look like some fella come up to me, the longest beard in the world. He went, have you had this one before, mate? I'm pretty sure you have, but you look like Jason Kelsey. I said, mate, I've had it loads, Can't avoid it at this point, but what a night. Stay there for one. Even I paid for the Uber home, Ben. That was the trade-off. I said, I'll pay for the Uber.
I appreciate that you making sure everyone knows. You got to get your value out of it as well if you do it. It's like me being around, mate. You got to make sure everyone knows on the podcast.
Of course. It's like, because I dragged him, it's like, listen, don't worry about getting tubes. It's late. I'll just sort the Uber. And it wasn't as dear as I thought. It was a bonus, mate. So, great night in London, as we say, Ben, with an older head, as we appreciate it. What a gaff. What a fucking gaff.
No night tube, no? That wasn't a possibility?
Oh, no, Ben, none of that nonsense. Uber, right?
I don't know if that's a thing.
Literally, though, and Gary was mentioned yourself as well. We literally staying opposite your hall, Bethnal Green. So he was telling us about all the old, homicide show he went to for FWA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So bit of
bit
of nostalgia there for Gary. He loved it.
All of our old haunts, but yeah, there you go. I'll take it down to London when I'm back, hopefully October time. But no, it is great. My mum was at Wimbledon last week, so she was telling me today how much she enjoyed London. But that was even more expensive to go and see.
How much of a pumice pubbies then there, Ben? About 20 quid?
Oh, she just told me it was expensive, and that's all I know. And yeah,
that was expensive before the inflation on inflation. That was expensive.
And there's a lottery to get tickets as well. I feel like maybe we could do this. Maybe it could sort some things out. Who knows? But there you go. I'm glad you had the best time, mate. We'll be chatting at the end what's going on at the weekend, but I do need to do a quick plug section with this being on the free feed. Bear with us. This has become a staple now of the weekend show. We just go on like it's the pre-show for 20 minutes.
Gotta chill it.
It's true. We did the 5-1 obviously last weekend, and like I say, you got Brett Show coming out this weekend as well with the Bash of the Beach show on Monday. So do want to give you the little platform, mate, to let us know what's coming up for the Brett Show 25th anniversary. I think that's accurate, isn't it? It's a bit like WWE when it's like the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. I mean, it doesn't really make sense mathematically, but Retro 25, is that what you're calling it? I'm in the dark as much as anyone. I'm just trying to get
you always are,
mate. I'm excited for it. I know it drives me mad. Yeah, I don't even know what's fucking coming out, do I? But apparently Sunday, so that's good.
Yes. And now bear with us there. Apologies for anyone who's been waiting for Retro. Bear with us. We have had a bit of a time nailing the schedule down with England obviously playing and some real life stuff, but we've had, to be honest, we wanted to give it a bit of gravitas. We wanted to make it extra special with it being episode 25. So we have been back and forth on the actual content of the show, but we've narrowed it down, Benno. We've come up with a concept. I will say it's double bubble this month for Retro, for people waiting as well. It's going to be 4 matches, which I won't give away. And I'll just give a teaser and a clue. We'll finally be done with the cunt when we finished. That's all I'm saying. Long-time listeners will know who it's going to be built around.
Jesus.
But
He's been through a lot, Goldberg kicked his head off, heart attacks, all
I
stuff,
promise
divorces.
He might get mentioned in future episodes somehow, but he will not be covered in depth anymore on the show going forward. This is him done, line in the sand, evolution stuff. It's done with this guy.
All right.
So yeah,
I hope it's not Sean, because we're coming up to that point in Benno and Hamflet next month, mate, which is gonna fucking kill me once we get past No Way Out. It's just done, isn't it? Like there's no more Sean outside of WrestleMania, so. Hopefully that's not a double anniversary, but we'll find out.
You're Sean. There's no. You get Jesus Sean.
Doesn't exist.
Comes back.
What are you on about?
But no, it will be coming this Sunday. We will record in early doors, and your good self will be putting it out there for everyone on there Sunday evening. Yeah. So as I say, thanks for everyone, and apologies if you've been waiting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Definitely coming. I want to talk to you.
No plans this weekend, mate. Don't worry about it. I'll just sit waiting on there. TED Talks for Retro. Fine. No, I will actually. I look forward to listening to it. But yeah, maybe it'll be the Iron Man even. Platt says here in the chat as well. Who knows? But yeah, look forward to the mystery being resolved this weekend. And of course, yeah, Stone Cold Crazy was out last week as well. Really enjoyed listening to that. So yeah, give that a listen as well as our 5-1 and everything else. I was going to say very, very, very last plug for the free people. Like, obviously, yeah, we are making the big change with, Spotlights becoming Patreon shows and the weekend being free. And if you do fancy joining us, I would say now is definitely the best possible time to do it. Because if you go to the main Patreon page, there might be a little offer code there that will be only available for a couple more weeks. So, yeah. Jump on if you can, and it's been great. And again, I appreciate all the feedback, both negative and positive. We have had both, and I appreciate that. I appreciate people's honesty, and continue to send it to us. But hopefully, that will make the process a little bit smoother for people who are going to miss the spotlights going forward.
Of course, Ben. I say I thank everyone for the patience, etc. And unlike certain companies, Ben, that have existed in history, we listen to the people.
Well, there you go. Well, speaking of listeners to the people, mate, we need to get into the news and everything going on. We're going to talk a bit of Dynamite later, which Matty's done his own work for. And, got a big G1 weekend to preview, mate, as well as something happening at MSG. But we will get there with Saturday night's main event. But we'll start with the news, mate. And, it's a day ending in Y. So it's WWE fucking with AEW time as the news did break today. And I guess we'll lead this as the lead story, or the most recent story that has come through the wire. I will say, people give us grief for doing a Thursday weekender, but, Meltzer put the Observer out on a Thursday night as well. So, the world's changed. Everything's upside down. Left is right and all of that. But he did have in the Observer a couple of news bits. And, this is another one of them that was referenced in that WWE's Worldwide show, mate. The big show that we're all looking forward to this year with AAA has been announced, and it will be the same city as AEW, all out at the exact same fucking day, mate, because, they've had this plan for a while, and it's something that's been doing the rounds, but apparently there was a release of Raw and SmackDown dates that I did actually see today, and I didn't pick up on it originally, but that's what it was saying, but this Worlds Collide show with WWE and AEW is going to be Saturday, September the 26th, from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. I would say the good one, the one I went to for WrestleMania 22. Yeah, it was 22, wasn't it? 22 in Chicago. Yeah. And of course, that is the date of AEW All Out, which is running at the less good Chicago venue, the Now Arena in Hoffman Estates. The one I had to go to Steph today. She's the GRAPPL Chicago correspondent. She gave me the down the line of exactly which one is which, and this is the one that's fucking miles away apparently. So same night, same area. It is. It's the Chicago market. And WWE up to their old tricks. And I'll ask you again what I was asking you last time, mate. What are they fucking doing? What do they gain from this? And really, are they actually going to get are AEW going to have 20 less ticket sales because of this? Are AEW going to have 100 less pay-per-view buys over this? I don't think so.
But that I don't get it. At first, Ben, when they started doing all this arsing about, you could kind of understand, right, we'll try it. Even if it's business at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They say it's not competitive and they're not competitors, but they are. So at first you go, fair enough, you're going to give it a go. But it hasn't worked, has it? And they're still doing it. Pettiness, and this is me saying this, for shit like this, you'd understand if it was like a proper PLE or SummerSlam or whatever, you go, oh, that's a big move. As you say, are they literally going to get a dint in what they're going to sell the AEW fans going to watch Worlds Collide? No, they're not. And they're not even going to load it up with CM Punk, Hardy, or anyone else. So what is the point? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just they're still doing it for the sake of it. And as you think you said on the last one, is there someone on a spreadsheet somewhere having a moral victory of 4 tickets or 4 fucking bits of merch, whatever it may be? It's what are they doing? It does not work anymore. It got put to bed a couple of fucking times ago, didn't it? And I say that with gritted teeth. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Like I was saying last time, because this seems to happen every couple of weeks. Definitely not a fucking coincidence. I will say there are only so many weekends in the month, and AEW run every month now. So you are going to get clashes that are natural, and then you're going to get ones like this where it's literally the same day in the same market.
Exactly.
But, as Platt says there, that was my go-to. The only way this makes any dent whatsoever is if they put Phil on it. If they do some kind of Punk, Punk versus Dom. I didn't even think of that. Platt said I thought he'd do
that will put a
dark batch or something, pull people aside. They've not taken Worlds Collide that seriously before. Remember when it was NXT UK versus NXT and all of that a couple of years ago? This is not a big event on the calendar, but you wouldn't put it past them to try and do it. And I honestly do think that. I think it's the news cycle. It's just trying to strangle the conversation a little bit. I genuinely think they're the reasons, because it isn't unless you're doing on something like that. It's not a ticket mover. The AEW pay-per-views are going to do great regardless. And if anything, it's going to hurt them. It's like that NXT show for the weekend before last, wasn't it? Where it's just nobody was talking about it, and nobody fucking watched the thing. All it does is hit their product more than anything. Yeah, you'd think it's one of the the shot window, but it's the battle for Chicago, mate. Who will win? One side's got filled, so I guess there is that.
The only thing I can think of being in there, Ed, and I'm not giving them no credit here, is that it's coming off the fucking match, innit? Is this like, I know they've had shows in Mexico still, are they thinking, because everyone did get attached to that and see that as a great thing? I know that it was in Mexico and the atmosphere, but it's a bit of a buzz online, that, Ben. It did land in everyone's feeds. It did. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit here, maybe they're seeing it as that. And hopefully
they capitalised on it really well with Chad Gable, didn't they? So, it's going great.
This is what I mean. It's an American market. Maybe they're thinking, let's just test the waters. But like, I still stick to my original thing. I don't see, unless they put Phil on there. And even then, even in a dark match, like you're saying, Ben, I don't think it'll shift. They need to promote it as like a selling point of the actual event, let alone dark. Yeah. So even then, I'm a bit apprehensive. We'll see what they do.
Apparently, Tony at the Boston taping tonight for Collision, which we're going to preview later. Apparently, he's going to be announcing maybe a pay-per-view for the Boston market, which I guess would be Wrestle Dream. Just looking at, I think, the only ones that don't have a place yet. So there you go. Look forward to WWE's War in Boston with John Cena on top doing a rap performance or something like that. It's coming soon. But moving on, other quick news to get into. WWE have apparently, according to the Observer, settled on. And this is I included this, Matty, just because you're on, mate. You say that I'm not a poor loser, mate. I will accept it when maybe you get the odd thing right versus me. Doesn't happen very often, but let's celebrate it when it does. But the SummerSlam main event apparently is set. The Sunday main event of all things as well, the proper main event, the actual SummerSlam, is apparently slated to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the fake world title. I guess that means Punk Cody on night one, mate. And yeah, gotta say, I didn't expect that. I'm still not 100% sure to believe it. I mean, because Cody and Punk are in the other match, mate, and they're the big stars. But, and Roman's a big star too, but, Seth isn't. And it's also for the proper belt. And, I feel like that's going to sell more tickets. But anywho, Roman versus Seth in the main event on night 2. And to be honest, mate, it's a brazen open attempt because we've got some rating stories in a minute when it comes to Raw and SmackDown to maybe get some of your thoughts, mate, on the latest build as Roman and Seth, try and talk people into that half-empty stadium that's coming up at the start of August.
Doesn't matter if there's no one in the stadium, Ben. That was always going to be the main event, mate, tonight too, because Roman.
Well, there might be no one in the stadium, mate. Fucking hell, we've seen those ticket sales.
That was never going to be in doubt. That and it's just standard. That the big man's got that in his deals, Ben, with the big pay-per-views. That's what goes on, no matter what.
Is it a big pay-per-view if you only fill 30% of the build, mate?
Will always be a case. As you say, Ben, still 30,000 tickets, nothing to be sniffed at.
Not yet.
Go there, you know what I mean?
Not yet.
Will be. Come hell or high water, come bell time. There'll be 40,000 in that stadium, Ben. You know that.
Popcorn sellers, mate.
I'm just saying, you know
backstage workers, dogs. No matter who they count.
Yeah, every animal backstage.
The postman will turn up. There's another one. Be ordering fucking Uber deliveries, mate, just to add extra people on.
No, as I say, that was never in doubt, mate. And listen, Punk and Cody's a massive match, Ben, and that'll do well on night 1. Do you know what I mean? That's fair play, mate. So
for the actual title, though.
Well, it doesn't matter. No, whatever belt Roman's got the actual title, Benno. How many times am I going to tell you this? This is what it is, mate. They were big stars in their own right. Of course, they are the greats. They're some of the all-time greats, but they're just not as big as the big man. Seth's just there. Seth's lucky to be in that main event. He is.
Well, he's the number 2, isn't he, mate?
He's so
established that this week.
Oh, he's the number 2, mate. I love when Roman calls back to his old promos for the number 2 shout.
I mean, he's the number 3, isn't he? Let's all be honest. He's
a number 33, if we're being honest. If we're being totally honest.
I just mean in the Shield, if that's what we're alluding to, come on.
Well,
maybe 4 actually behind Kurt Angle. Was there any other honorary Shield members?
Triple H joined them for one time. Maybe he's not behind.
There you go, number 5. Rough.
Really rough, but we'll see come go time, Benno, and we'll see if how many tickets they shift, mate. But I heard all the discourse, and listen, just briefly on that, it's not good at all, really. If we're being it's really bad. The fact that it's actually a 70,000 stadium and not like a 50 is bad. But listen, what can be done? I think. Do we open?
What are you going to do? Should we have a bet? Are they going to beat All In or not? Do you believe they beat All In? Don't think they're going to, are they?
Listen, I mean, and this isn't me just clinging on. It is a 2-night event, so if you do put being serious, if you do put the 2 nights together, that's what it would have sold.
Don't.
Wait.
They're not real numbers.
Wait.
That's what our numbers were.
No. If that was a 1-night SummerSlam, it would have done 45 to 50,000, wouldn't it? No, would have.
Fuck off.
No, well, that's how it works, Benno.
No, it isn't.
No, but why? No, wait. So one night with all these matches on would only do 25,000. Of course,
I don't think the tickets got sold before the matches got announced. And also, what you're trying to say there, if it's 30,000 each night, is that half the people like you were there on, like, say, the second night, like, are new people who aren't going on the first night. Like, that's always nonsense. It's the same people. If you book the flight. It's individual people. It's like I always say, if WWE are going to say this about their records, then what's the records? Like, if we'll count the whole G1, I mean, the number's still going to be low from this summer, but every show's a G1, isn't it? Nights 1 to fucking 18. It's all the same show, so, let's double count them. Like, that'd be more legitimate, because it's different fucking towns. Like, it's got to be individual people, if you could.
It'd be more, though, Ben. It would. If that was all on the one card.
Slightly more, but not a lot more.
I think it would be at least 40, at least. Especially come go time. But we'll see.
How many people do you think are doing one night?
You don't know. Times are hard, Benno.
Not a lot, though.
I know, I get what you're saying, and most would, but there's still going to be people only doing one because that's all they can afford. It's a tough world out there at the minute. So, listen, it is what it is.
What answer to say all in's going to be safe?
No chance. No.
What do you mean, no chance? It definitely is. And I'm the low man on All In. I don't think All In's numbers are great.
I thought it would have done 50,000, didn't I? I thought it would be the easiest smash 50,000 with the year off, you know what I mean? With the great mind of that. But listen, they're doing 2-for-1 codes. They're doing 50%, which is what you've got to do in this. Once again, tough world out there. But,
I've got codes for the 2 nights tonight, don't worry.
Have they?
They'll sort it out too.
50% off. Listen, they
not 50%, but yeah.
This is your WrestleMania, though. This is not your SummerSlam. This is your bread and butter. This is the greatest event of all time, according to you last year. So, you know what I mean? All In.
Is that what I said?
That's what you said, the biggest.
I think I said biggest weekend, mate. And I counted Wrestle fucking Circus or whatever WWE running that weekend as well, WrestlePalooza.
But yeah, I'm not getting dragged in, Ben. It's too early. We'll see who comes
on. SummerSlam should be better, shouldn't it?
No, I've said it should be overall. Of course it fucking should.
And All In should be better. We say that every week,
That's why you say wrestling's down the pan, Benno, innit? That's why you come back to before. No, it is, but it's even.
Circus in town, sun's out.
I don't want to drag the fucking listeners through it. A fucking mud bath. But like it is, you can look at even some of the TV show layouts, even Raw, some of it, Benno, AEW. Is it ever going to change? This is what I mean. But it can't, because no one's got the balls to try anything new. It's safe to get the money off the TV, and it's safe, I've been like this for a few months, and that's why I love even the littlest shittest change of things, Benno, even if people don't like or whatever. I just want to see a bit of something different. It's just fucking... It is. It's paint by numbers at the minute, and that's across the board. AEW have better matches, of course, and that's their saving thing. But even some of their shit's like, fuck's sake, it's just monotonous, isn't it? And that, once again, that's just wrestling, and it's wild, mate. Never thought I'd see the day, Benno. I didn't. Even though it's cyclical and been like this for years, it just feels so on the nose nowadays. And once again, maybe that's just people like me. I don't know. Sorry.
For translation, folks, WWE's not very good right now, and therefore AEW gets leaked in. We said that on the intro, and you've literally just said the line.
As Mel just said, though, even the
AEW
truther, the man who prays to Tony Khan every night on his hands and fucking knees, Big Dave, even he had to spit words out there. Even he had to.
He thought Dynamite was incredible this week, mate. He's wrong, but
Yeah, he is. And listen, and I'm not having a go at Dave for once for what he likes. Of course, you like what you like, but it was hard for him on that clip the other week to say about the attendances. He couldn't say it. And it's like, Dave, just say it. It's factual, mate. Just get it out, mate. You say everything else, that's bullshit. That's your opinion. Say something that's factual that you couldn't.
I think he's been the leader in that.
Yeah,
he's been the leader on reporting on that.
Because he likes it. Just be honest. Just be honest with what we're seeing. And that's where it comes again. If this is the whole thing across the board with people getting attracted to it, you can't even blame AEW for prices, though, Benno. You can't, can you? For their attendances. So what is it? If it's that great and that hot, why aren't they drawing houses? Can anyone answer that? No, they can't. If you can, write it on a postcard. I'll give you my address. Send it to me, and I'll read it out loud on the next podcast. No one can answer it. If it's that,
you're literally doing it again. That's exactly what we were talking about.
I'm asking a valid question because it's wrestling.
You haven't. Because there's a number of factual problems there. Like Meltzer's been the one reporting that. Oh, AEW's metrics are up. Like TV is up. There's loads of.
I don't want to hear this. No. I know all this. I know why. I know that's up. Why is that not up though?
I know. What I'm trying to say to you is Meltzer is also the one who's reporting that the ticket sales are down and asking the question that all of us are asking. Like, isn't that interesting? What? That most other metrics seem to be up, and that's the one that's trailing behind. Like, don't have a full answer for it.
That's what I'm saying. It's mental.
It's also got nothing to do with WWE.
But what it is, no, listen, I know I can go off on one, but people have a go at WWE for like being exaggerate the ticket prices. So you can actually go, all right, creative mightn't be great at the minute, you might be stale, but people will go, well, they're pricing all the real fans out. Okay, so what's AEW's excuse? They're not pricing their fans out. So why aren't people turning up to the building?
And people are turning up, just like, again, attendances aren't going up. Like, you're still, you're getting like,
so what? There you go.
You're getting like 5,000 for shows. Like, they're beating New York market, double or nothing this year, did 15,000. Saturday Night's Main Events do 10. There's plenty of like examples of good numbers, and the TV's at a good, consistent level. Why isn't it higher is more the conversation and more the question, but you're lumping a lot of things in there to distract from WWE, mate, and I'm not letting you do it. Like, the most, like, the longest running, biggest company in the world, the Coca-Cola of wrestling, is struggling to sell tickets to SummerSlam. And that's a conversation in its own right.
That's probably the only one, which I admitted before. That's probably the only one that I went, ooh, that's a bad one. You know what I mean? That's a really bad one. As you say, for a stadium show, for whatever, SummerSlam, that is where you go, wait there, you're scratching your head here. That's where you go, well, it could be a lot of factors. But everyone else is acting like it's on death's door every other week. It's still getting 10,000 Raw. I know it's slightly down on that on the peak and the boom period.
And AEW is slightly down. These things are worth having conversations about. We talked about it on the live this week.
Well, didn't you say throw it in with WWE? But it's a good, valid question, I think. I think that's a good question of why people aren't turning up to this hot, amazing product that I keep getting told about. Who calls it a
hot, amazing product?
Everyone used to say Dynamite's been amazing this year. The pay-per-view's been amazing.
It's been very good this year, yeah. And the pay-per-views have been consistently good.
Why are people running bigger?
Well, they are turning up, but it's not as strong as you would hope it would be, yeah. And we talked about it on the live last week. I don't know if you listened. Like, we talked on weekend show last week, me and JP. It is notable that the tickets are lagging behind. Absolutely.
Considering they're giving them away as well, and they're not overpricing people like WWE are. That's what baffles me. That honestly, that does, because you can have a go at WWE for that, and rightfully so.
Yeah. And we have a go, and again, I don't know what podcast you think you're on. We have a go at AEW for that, like every week, like literally every week.
I'm just making sure of it.
Ticket sales.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving balance, Benno.
Double that. Even when we're not talking about it.
I'm on seesaw with Yokozuna. That's how much balance I'm giving me.
Yeah, Simon said it'd be a really good question you asked there, mate.
Sorry,
the AEW segment of the show where we're reviewing
Dynamite. You know what I get like?
You know what? Once he pokes me, sometimes I try and keep a lid on it, and sometimes it comes out, and I apologise.
Poked yourself, mate. That's what you did. Well, we got AEW later to talk about. And I didn't love Dynamite this week, but Meltzer did. You know, varying opinions are out there, but yeah. Well, no, that's not true. He is again. He will go in on AEW when it's bad, and he also is the person reporting these numbers that you're using to bash him with, the ticket numbers with AEW. So I don't think that's a very fair representation there. And as a fair and partial journalist, mate, as you are, we should point that out.
Always.
But anyway, moving on to other WWE matters. I don't even want to cover this now that the SmackDown rating was up and the Raw rating was up. Great. There you go. That did happen. Actually, no, I can talk about it, mate, because CM Punk was on them. That's why. SmackDown viewership did get a big boost this week. I don't know whose website this is on, mate, that's reporting this. F4W Online. Anyway, average 1.2 million viewers on USA, up 13.9% from the previous week with CM Punk on. And obviously, I think the fallout of all of the Sami Zayn stuff doing an increased number for them, even if the numbers are still in the basement as far as overall numbers go for WWE TV. And yeah, WWE on Netflix was a little bit up as well with again CM Punk's big WWE return, which I mean that one made loads of sense considering they plugged it throughout the entire show and had show long stories always work, don't they? Wrestling companies should do more of it. Plus, it was CM Punk coming back, so that helps as well. And yeah, it might help with the old. We love wheeling this out. Netflix bar chart of everything going on in WWE ratings. So there you go, up to 2.5 million, mate. Well bad. It's all right, isn't it? Not bad.
Listen, I'm sick of seeing that 1.2 million, but it feels like it's been that for about 20 years, let alone fucking 6 months.
What must the US number be on Netflix, mate? And if it's bad either way, isn't it, mate? I can spin it both ways. 2.5 million is like, well, say 2 million of them are US. It's like, what, 500,000 for the rest of the world? Or if it's low, it's like, fucking hell, the rest of the world's carrying WWE, isn't it?
Yeah.
These
but it is world wrestling entertainment, Benno. So I mean, I'll stick for that.
Not much of the world seem to want to watch it, like, but some of them.
It is, but you listen, Phil, coming back and listen, it's one of them, innit, where, as you say, it was done well, promoted throughout the show. You're going to get the fallout on SmackDown of something so
memorable and stuff with Sammy as well. It's not just Punk come back; it's the fact he won the title, etc. And Sammy lost it after 9 days, so you're going to get a bit of fallout from that. But listen, mate, I mean, we're not talking about it much, and maybe we won't at all. But I want to throw in that main event segment with the old Gunny and Nick Aldis. Benno, there's another match that might make me get on that plane there, mate. Love that.
Do you think they'll actually do it? I don't believe it.
No, listen, you seen the leak card that I think Dave wrongfully put out. I'm not blaming Dave, but he said he had Gunther v Royce Keys on it. I mean, no, with Royce tied up in the 6-man now, that put me off the fact that it might be Aldis, and Aldis might say, like, I'm going to get someone to represent me. But I think at this point, you've got to do Aldis now, haven't you? You've got to do this. You've went all out with this, and you've got to do it. And listen, I think I think it'll be sound. It's been built up well, so I'm all in for that, Ben.
I'd love a bit of like I honestly, it's like him and Pierce. It's like Pierce is probably not ever gonna happen because of the level that he was and the type of wrestler that he was and the age that he is now. Like you might get like that one general manager scrappy pretending he doesn't know how to wrestle type of match. Whereas Aldis, like, still young enough, isn't he? Younger than us. Yeah. Like he could still looks great, talks great, as you said, probably smells great. There's all those and you'd think Triple H would love him. I do think that's something I'd always give Triple H credit for. Like bringing those two in as GMs has obviously worked. They've both been great in the roles, but yeah, Nick Aldis is a pro wrestler. The matches have never particularly been great, even in the NWA. You get the odd, obviously the Cody match is a big one, but outside that, yeah. But in WWE, probably fine, isn't it? And
Gunther's in there with him, so he's going to obviously carry him to a great level as well. I think it makes sense, and it's a win for Gunther as well. And listen, I'll agree with the discourse I've seen about Gunther. They really haven't capitalized amazingly on like the fact he put fucking Cena out and put AJ out and got done the Steph stuff at Mania. It's even this, when you look at it in a vacuum like that, you go, he's fighting Nick Aldis at SummerSlam, but at least he's featured at the same time. He could be doing more, but it's what we say about Triple H, Ben. Listen, I am fair. I think he does like to fucking not go the whole hog with them and likes his favourites. And I know he's his favourite to a degree, but he always finds a match, like the McAfee match he had. He always has little side quests for Gunther that he can keep him strong in that regard, even though we think he should be in the mix with the bigger boys. So it is a tough one, but he's still featured in a big match, I suppose. He always will be, but he can be a lot more, can't he? Of course he can.
Yeah, they haven't capitalized, have they? I mean, it's interesting that you're arguing against your past self on the Discord the other week. Like, I don't think it's a defense. Oh, they put him over John Cena, they put him over AJ Styles, they put him over blah blah blah. It's like yes, but like they haven't capitalized on it, have they? Like they just haven't.
They haven't. But I think I bit a bit thinking. I can't remember who it was, and apologies. It's
probably Dave Meltzer, mate, based on the show so far. I will say, I don't think he falsely put out a card on purpose. I think that was what the plans was, and that was what was reported to him. Okay, yeah. And the plans changed. I mean, it does happen. It's become a catchphrase, but
we can do that, can't we? You know what I mean? But anyway, let's move on.
All right, we'll see what Meltzer's getting next. As we also have from his website, the vignette from WWE Raw. To be fair, it aired on TV. While you mention him, Raw, mate, it does feel official that Big Cass or Big Bill or maybe Big Bill Cass, maybe that's what we could call him, is headed back to WWE. And I don't think me and you have had a chance to have a conversation about this, but when we did have the conversation, I think me and JP, and it was only speculative, but does seem to be confirmed now, unless that's the silhouette of somebody else. I have been in this situation before, Matty. We were walking around Wembley, going back to our hotel on like the Wembley week, not the last Wembley weekend, I think it was. I just saw like a hooded figure outside of like the what was the wrestler hotel, like possibly smoking something. Who could know what he was possibly smoking? And it was like, oh, hang on, he's fucking 7 foot tall. That's definitely Big Bill. Worked it out, and I think from this silhouette, I think I'm the expert now to work out. Yes, that is in fact him. And of course, there were some video clips, bits in there as well that gave the game away. Who knows whether Enzo's going to be along for the ride as well? But I'm happy to see it. To be honest, I think he is someone who people are going to say it. AEW's not going to die, obviously, because he's left, and it's not a massive travesty. But like I said, when it was first rumored, it's a missed opportunity at the very least. He's someone who got over with every little opportunity he got better in every single way, and could have been more in AEW. And fair play. You say it when wrestlers jump the other way, knows his worth, and has given it another crack at WWE. It seems.
Listen, before I go into that, the only thing I will say is I'm hoping he comes in alone. I hope Enzo doesn't come back. That takes
it from a nostalgia act, doesn't it, to his own thing. Like
100%.
You bring Enzo back, then there's a ceiling on that, isn't there? Like it'll be over for a while, but there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling, and the fact is, listen, even if Enzo comes in, And even if he doesn't get in the ring, I could take that if he's his mouthpiece or his manager. I'd hate it still because I want him on his own, but I'd go, okay, if you're bringing them both back, I don't want them as that literally from 2000 and fucking what, 15 transported to now. I don't want that nostalgia act. I don't want the same shit. I get you've got to do it for a one-off, maybe, yeah, of course, but as you say, for the limited shelf life. But if they go in, especially if he comes in on his own, and it's TNA that got him back, Benno. Like, I remember him as W. Morrissey in TNA. Honestly, Eddie Edwards carrying him and learning him on the fly.
We're going to get Smiths in the chat now, but anyway.
No, genuinely, like, he learned his crap back up and fell in love again in TNA, and that's what got him to AEW. It was. He had some great matches with Eddie Edwards, amongst others, and he was carried himself more than he's ever done there. Yeah. And as you say, it's translated to AEW, and that fan base where he organically got over, because, like you say, sometimes in wrestling, well, I say all the time, not sometimes, look at him. He's going to be over. You push him the way he should be pushed. You've got him. You've got a winner, Benno. Once again, it's Triple H, though. Is he got that fucking glass ceiling? Has he got that fucking limit he can only go to under Triple H? Who knows? But long answer again there, but I'd be glad to see him back if he is on his own, especially. Definitely.
Triple H watches Dynamite every week, mate. He'll have had his eye on him like he had his eye on Cody a few years ago. Like, I do think he'll get, if caveat, if he's on his own, a decent push. If he's with Enzo, maybe still a decent push, but it depends what it looks like. But yeah, I'm a big fan of him. It shouldn't be understated. It wasn't just the UK stuff. There were multiple times the tag team stuff, like Ricky Starks, the fucking even the stuff knocking around with Jericho. Like, he could have gotten over there as well if they'd have actually paid that off, and of course they didn't. And he's fucking saddled with Brian Keith. Like, he is someone that really showed something. AEW doesn't like big men. WWE do. He's probably going to be better off, isn't he? I think I can mildly say that, even if, yes, there are a lot of cautionary tales over the last couple of years.
And it's everything you hear of reports as well, and good on him. Like, he had his problems, didn't he, and his demons back then, and he was younger. So he's got an older head now. He seems to be clean. He seems to be what you hear. So that's good on him. And he's got his head back in the game, and that's fair play. And he's got back to probably where he always wanted to be. And like I say, that was probably the things holding him back last time there. Young, under old management, etc. Hopefully now he gets a better chance with that older head. So fingers crossed for him. Definitely.
Well, speaking of the dirt sheets being liars, got to bring it up. I mean, would you stick him with Bazza Corbin? You know, your old mate turning up back on SmackDown last week after spending 3 months saying that all the dirt sheets were liars and Meltzer was a liar. And, you know, there's a running theme on this show, mate. It turned out he was the liar. Do you know why? Because he's a pro wrestler, and that's what they fucking do. Yeah. Turning up, getting a pop as well.
Holy shit, chance. Listen, he's one of them, Corbin, that I think everyone, near enough, maybe the old who haven't watched WWE in a while kind of people will never like, but a little bit of a soft spot to the end because he wasn't shoved down your throat as a main eventer. He knew his role, like the Happy Corbin.
And he was best man at your wedding.
Yeah, into the tag team with Bron Breakker, etc. There was a lot of stuff that you go, all right, he's a good hand. Listen, I'm glad he's back to a degree. Of course, I haven't got a problem with it, I'll say. The only thing I've got a problem with is that he's right in the mix with Trick Williams, which... Listen, Trick needs an opponent because, like we're saying about Triple H, love Trick, love the presentation. Little Yossi's probably one of my favourite managers of all time. Genuinely, I fucking love that act. But he was literally one that, I know they're doing the Carmelo stuff to take it back to the story, which is sound. But that's the epitome of a wrestler that's got over under the Triple H, Benno, that they're scared to put him in the ring with anyone else now. So he's the feature, if you get me. That's Triple H saying, you're a big star, which it is to a degree because he's over, etc. But... they're scared to put him in with anyone. So that's where Corbin comes in, and I'm like, ooh, that's a program. But I know.
I can't see that go well.
This is what I mean, Ben. But it's Trick getting an opponent, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But and I love Trick's new belt. I think it fits the character well. I love that fucking Fairy US title. I'm a big fan of it. So
matches as jacket, it's fine. It is. Whatever.
The character, it's the two of them, Yachty and him. Basically, I love it.
Lil Yachty. Unbelievable. I can't believe he's still on telly. Like, he's an actual rapper who's got albums to put on.
He's fucking good.
QC need to have a word. Anyway, also news related as far as people coming and going. Another one who's a common one of the on the weekend show. Mike Santana reported today. Again, what could the source possibly be? To be fair, it's WrestleVotes. I think Meltzer did back it up with the Observer as well. But Mike Santana's WWE rival is expected within the company by the end of the summer. And again, via Fightful Select as well. So I do buy it. But yeah, Santana landed in WWE, and I guess that's where he'll go.
I mean, hopefully main roster. I mean, he's been on NXT, hasn't he, like with the TNA stuff. So, yeah, hopefully he skips
Be a
NXT.
retread now, wouldn't it, to do that?
Yeah,
He could be fresh, couldn't he? He could be fresh on,
Once
hopefully
again,
not SmackDown, but Raw or SmackDown.
I know it's not fucking attitude either, but given material that he can sink his teeth into, I think this is a wrestler we actually agree on, don't we, Ben? He's authentic, speaks from the heart, great character. You can lean into the real life stuff, which Triple H likes. You can do all this.
Rebuilt himself from the ground up, didn't he? Like LX was great. We loved LX. We did 5-star matches all over the show, specifically in Manchester. But stepped out of that. And, bet on himself. I think he just thought, I don't know, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but him and Ortiz seemed to end in quite a sour way, wanted different things from the career. And he was like, fuck this. I'm not happy to be a henchman in Jericho's stable. I'm going to go do my own thing. And he did, and he was a high point at TNA. They could have capitalized on him more. And now he's getting a shot in WWE. I mean, like you, hope it's main roster, but fair play, I'll be back. I'll be, rooting for him.
Yeah, of course. And maybe he won't reach the main event heights, but if he's just featured and protected too, like I keep saying, authentic, good on the mic,
cool,
good enough worker as well. Does the main event WWE style in TNA, you know what I mean? So we can bring them type of dramatic matches.
He won't be out of place at all.
The layout at all, no. He'll fit in hand in glove, as you say, just hoping he gets featured enough, Ben. So yeah, once again, like Big Bill and Morrissey there, just fingers crossed for them. Hopefully they do well.
Well, some other updates on wrestlers, mostly injury related. This feels like the physio room on a football podcast, but a few different ones. We're in the Observer today. Vikingo underwent surgery for an ACL, going to be out for 9 months. That is the expected prognosis. Well, yeah.
I'm joking.
Maybe they'll cheer him when he gets back. As long as they're not taking his brain in and out of his body, I trust Nelson on medical stuff. He'll never like that one.
You just killed him more than I ever have.
I don't even think he's backed out on that one. God love him. Update.
Sorry, just a quick one on him. He seems always injured to me. You know what I mean? He's that type of wrestler that you're taking a chance every fucking move he does, to be fair to the guy. You know what I mean? So
football player, eh? You're like, he will be shined in his when he's like 19 and then his early 20s, and then it's like, it's happened. It has. Other updates are relevant to preview we're going to be doing in a bit. New Japan have announced there for the G1 Climax, Shota Umino has been taken out of the tournament. I didn't notice anything, to be honest, in the Zack match. So I mean, maybe I just thought he was selling particularly well. But yes, he has been removed from the tournament. Will be forfeiting all of his remaining matches. Apparently, it's a concussion protocol thing with Shota Umino. And yeah, I mean, I seen Bashiel saying on the Discord that like usually like Japanese promotions don't replace people, but like tell me chat, I could be misremembering, and I feel like that's happened in G1s and other tournaments. Like I feel like multiple times we've had like bums like plushed in, like fucking Chase Owens being added to G1s. Maybe that was before the tournament. Maybe that's the difference here, but yeah, one less match to watch every time you watch the G1, folks. So take that as a positive. On top of that, we do have an update again. We're going to be talking Dynamite in a moment, and obviously, we have got unfortunately Harley Cameron in an AEW women's division that is dropping like flies as it is. Also out indefinitely going forwards, and again, she's somebody who it was a collision last week where she managed to get hurt. So yeah. You fan of Harley Cameron?
Not really, Ben, if I'm being honest with you. But it's no, not really. But as you say, we'll get into it when we talk. I'll say I'm a bit behind on overall AEW week to week, but like
you're right up to date, mate. I'm aware.
Watch this week, of course. But even seeing the main event, the women going, are these your main featured women now? And as you say, you must be dropping like flies. Do you know what I mean? If like there's no one. That seemed to be in the mix when I was watching a couple of months ago. It just seems a bit strange. But no, obviously any injuries unfortunate, like of course, and hopefully she gets better soon.
And Keith Lee, update on that from the conversation that me and JP had on the live. It does sound like, according to Brian Alvarez this time, that he might be done for good. Apparently, obviously, it'd been reported that like mixed reports really that whether it was injuries or other stuff. There was some reports about him getting divorced from Mia Yim. I don't know how much of that's our business, but it's a headline, I guess. So it's on there. But yeah, he said that Alvarez said not an official, but everyone he's spoken to believe that Keith Lee is done in the ring. And yeah, we said that on the live, 10 years ago now, isn't it? Where we were all, he was the one doing somersaults, but we were in the crowd watching him, thinking he was incredible. Obviously had the Bearcat run in WWE. jumped to AEW and was somebody who, we did hope for big things. I said that on the live. To be honest, I expected him to be a bigger star in AEW than Swerve when they were teamed up. My God, how wrong that bet turned out to be. But yeah, a sad end really, and someone who, I don't want to be harsh about it, but I don't know if there's a place for him in AEW, even if he did come back at this point. I think time has kind of come and gone with Keith Lee. Don't know if you're ever a fan.
Yeah, no, first and foremost on the situation now, it's like, he's been out for that long, Benno. He practically is retired. You know what I mean? He's been out that long, hasn't he?
You don't think about him, do you?
No, you don't. And listen, as you say there, why is he saying that about his personal life? But because that's where I think he must be injured, though, Benno. Because I don't think that in itself would affect him not to wrestle. Because the wrestlers, like we're saying, the liars, they don't fucking retire, do they? Like, I'm not having that he won't get in the ring again unless he's really injured. He will fight again, won't he? Do you know what I mean?
Be like Braun Strowman, like in some backyard fight or something. Did you see that clip this week where he's literally outside in someone's garden wrestling?
Doing the food circuit. He's at.
It's massive. It's unbelievable. They haven't brought him back again. Like you'd think they would.
Oh, he'd be back, Ben. Don't worry. He'd be wheeling him out for special guest stuff. But I love that Strowman. Any chance we get to talk about him? But Keith Lee in the past, though, Ben, mate. The streets don't forget Keith Lee, though, Benno. He's one of them footy players, like on Instagram in years with the footy players. He's one of the wrestlers. The streets will never forget. I don't care your opinions. I'm telling you. Them Dijak matches, Ben. We're going to do a podcast one day on that touring match fucking idea. When I first seen that PWG 5-star Meltzer, he just called this show Meltzer tonight, where he was loving it. I agreed. I've never seen nothing like it. And that NXT one, where I stayed in yours, Benno, in Everton for that. Do you remember that? Just before COVID.
Oh, fucking hell.
They repeated it, obviously, replayed it in WWE, and it was amazing. It got over. He fucking went out there with Roman in that Survivor Series in the last stretch, and the streets especially won't forget. He beat Randy Orton in a pandemic pay-per-view, Benno, 1-on-1. He'll always own a victory over one of the GOATs, so we'll always give him that. And
as you say, more now. All right, I want to come back.
Yeah, went to AEW, Swerve in Our Glory, the Acclaim, mate. Organically one of the best 5-star matches anyone's ever seen. Fuck this, like getting seated as one. That organically became one on the night. Listen, he's one of them moments wrestlers, and as you say, when you watch them over here, myself included, you hadn't seen nothing like it in the flesh, had you, at the time of that bit?
Progress, Rev Pro. So where Ishii, mate?
Yeah, there you go. So we'll always have them memories. And I always say about this, what I always say about like wrestlers like that. It's easy to forget, though, and it's easy to just brush these people off, Ben. I'm big on that. I'm big on not doing that, sorry. So give him his respect. But 41 as well. He's not old, is he? He's the same age as Roman, Cody. He just feels a lot older, doesn't he? It's weird.
Not old, mate. I'm 42. I heard. Not having that. Preview of the housekeeping that me and Hamflett are about to put out. We did the ages of the Rock and Roll Express, mate, and the NWA incarnation. Fucking both a year younger than me. I think it's Gibson is a year younger than me. It's Morton's the older one. You'd think it'd be the other way around, yeah. Morton's a year younger than me, and Gibson a year younger than Hamflett. Horrible. But yeah, that's the 90s when it comes to 80s wrestlers for you. But yeah, I it's one of them. Share those like great memories of Keith Lee, but it is memories really, isn't it at this point? So we'll see. But yeah, on and finally stories, mate, before we get into Dynamite.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about your man, Benno, CM Punk, and this physique that he's busted out lately, mate. He's been eating his shreddies, he's been eating his Smarties. But no, he's been training, Benno. He's been on one of these, personal trainer plans that he's following, Benno. And what do you think, mate? Do you reckon, is it professional wrestler, professional liar, like Simon, we've said at this podcast tonight, or what do we say here, Ben? What are you agreeing with it? It's Phil, innit? He's drug-free, he's straight edge, so you've got to believe him, haven't you? You know what I mean? He's been saying, this is from Stephen McMahon's What's Your Story podcast.
You watched it all yet, Ben?
Not a fucking chance, mate. You couldn't tie me down.
I thought you'd be
Orange style.
every second of this,
Ah, no. Every bit
I've watched the
of it,
first
like the
45
fakeness of
so
it.
far, and he's gone into this on the first 45, like.
Did they go into anything interesting at all? Like I saw the clip where he was not putting Vince over, but talking about like getting Vince's approval.
I haven't got up to that yet.
Yeah, that bit. Yeah, and I saw the clip about that Survivor Series match where it was him, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the Hardys, and who was he talking about? Pat Patterson, like getting his approval, like because Pat didn't know who he was. I mean, he was former ROH champion, legend of the Indies, should have been the main event of Survivor Series in my opinion. But Pat Patterson didn't pick that. But yeah, I did see this clip. But yeah, it's just he can go to the gym a lot, mate, in the build to WrestleMania, and then coming back 2 months after WrestleMania, twice as big as he's ever been in his entire career, mate. And there's nothing suspicious about that. He's just been saying his prayers and taking his vitamins.
That's what I mean. He had the
he had that good trained physique for WrestleMania, so you can believe that. And like, I agree with you there. When wrestlers are always away, Benno, and they do come back, that's when you just go, you just go, wait there a minute, what are you doing? You can easily get away with it there. And he's a monster, isn't he? At certain angles and certain pitches, Ben, he's like Batista, mate, in his prime. He's huge.
It's like that promo Steve Corino cut on once where he was like, look, with all those fucking tattoos, you can't tell me you've never done drugs. But like, I'm not sure if that matches up, but I buy. And
this is also, we go into the another story here, Benno. This is your boys section of this podcast, mate, where Cody Rhodes...
I just thought you'd enjoy this as an finally.
Set to interview the GOAT, isn't it, of the NFL, Tom Brady, at the Fanatics Fest in New York City. And look at that headline there, Ben. You'll have that tattooed on your neck soon, mate. QB1 beats QB1. I mean, fucking hell. Do you imagine? Listen, and don't get me wrong, I don't know anything about NFL, don't claim to be a fan. Did watch Tom Brady on the overlap with Neville and Keane and Ian
Wright. He was doing the live watch along last night, wasn't he? That was fucking weird. What was he doing there?
But Brady was like, to be fair, Ben, he's Cena-like in robotic talking, but when you get him talking about the actual sport, even I was like, fuck me, that's why he's great. He's seeing things that, like, and the training, the discipline and all that. So imagine how much shit these two are going to chat. Fucking hell, how professional, how weird soup is this fucking interview going to be, mate? Jesus Christ.
They're a Terramana tequila away, more than that in a second, away from the possible worst interview of all time. Neither of them are going to say anything. Like, I feel like they should get Cena and Dwayne in the room as well, and the four of them to just, like, say nothing for an hour and see how long they can go. Like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's coming up. Well, that's tonight, Ben. That's today.
Do you think,
we'll have the discourse tomorrow for that.
Do you think he's ever in his entire life called Cody QB1? I feel like that's one I've seen on Instagram. Cody sharing loads of like promotion tweets about this, like tagging him in it, going, QB1 meets QB1, like it says here on the poster. I don't even think he's been reshared on Instagram, mate. Never mind it being something that would ever come out of Tom Brady's mouth.
It's Tom Brady's PA's PA that gets back to Cody, and it's just the same copy and paste job. See it at the time, on the day, nothing else. Just we'll do the interview.
Be on time though, mate.
Oh, mate, he'll be there an hour before. Won't speak to Cody like for an hour before. He'll just turn up on stage. That's what he'll do.
And speaking of which, real and Farley story.
I mean, mate, I said this. I don't even know what it was on. I feel like I said it on a podcast. If not, I'll say it now. Why the fucking hell does this film exist? Other than to give Dwayne the chance, which is backfired, that's why we're doing this, the chance to like redeem himself because he'd done Smashing Machine, he wanted to go the indie route. He thought in his head, the big brainstorm was Moana, which was a hit globally, big financial success, especially on the DVDs and Blu-rays, will be played to generations of kids for years to come. I know what I'll do. I'll do a live action version of the same film and not change nothing, apparently. What was he thinking, Benno? Just so we can listen, we can poke fun at the Rock, and rightfully so in ways. And I get his heritage with his family. He wanted to pay tribute. That's fine. If that's a personal vanity project in a nice way, that's fine to a degree. But other than that, mate, what the fuck was he thinking with this, Ben? And look at the headline there. Opens with the 95 million, but it's poised to lose between 100 and 125 $1 million, Benno. What a waste of time, though. Like,
it's
awful.
I think it's him he's desperate, isn't he? Like, he's so desperate. That's why he's doing the Oscar bait. That's why he thought, like, he really thought this was his get out of jail card. Going back to doing Fast and Furious again, that's his other. I think he's rumoured to be in the last Fast and Furious. I feel like things had smoothed over with Vin Diesel.
He ended up as the Easter egg, didn't he, at the end of the last one?
Was that the last one?
Yeah, he did that. That was the big reveal at the end.
And the Fast and Furious guy, was he? Are you sure?
I'll put anything on it. Honestly, get $1,000,000,000 bet. He turned up in the last scene, like the post-credits fucking scene. That was the big reveal. That's yours, back.
Maybe it was. Maybe I'm losing my touch with Fast and Furious. Yeah, of course it was, wasn't it? Like, I just think, like, that's all he can do now, isn't it? Like, it's go back and revisit, like, these big things that he's done and hope that he can grab. Remember, he was literally the biggest star in the world, wasn't he? Biggest movie star, biggest star in the world. And I think that's exactly what these moves are. But he's unfortunately still got in his brain that he's that biggest star. So, like, to him, if he'd have done this at the height of his powers, when, like, if you could have done it then, but like, you know, around the time of like Fast Five or around the time of like, you know, whatever you call his peak of popularity, you'd probably get away with this. You'd probably get away with a live action version of Moana and people would still go. But like the stench of just failure around him, like it's so strong that like I'm just wondering when he goes back crawling to TKO and ends up back on Raw, mate, and picks up his great story with Cody and then breaks kayfabe 3 weeks later and ruins the story, which a few people have pinpointed as possibly the end of this WWE boom, but who am I to comment? But like that's what we're close to, because he really is circling the drain at this point.
It's bad then, because you can look at it in every way there, like you said there. Like undeniably the biggest movie star / star in the world. Everything done turned to gold. And listen, he's never made unbelievable films. He hasn't, apart from Fasts aside, Ben. I think you'll agree on the early ones. But other than that,
5 and 6, yeah.
I listened to the little. I haven't listened to the full rewatchables yet on their podcast, but they were going through his last 10 years of what he's made, Benno. And it's horrendous. Like, and these have made money, don't get me wrong. The 2 Jumanjis, Jungle Cruise 1 and 2 was it. There's a Skyscaper in there, Baywatch, Rampage, the Moana, obviously. So there's a lot of like across the board there of like making money, but really not great movies, and he's getting panned for that. So you go to yourself, yeah, you're the biggest star, but Ben, he was the biggest star, so why is he trying to cling on? Let it go. Like, I know that's another Disney film, you know what I mean, the fucking Frozen, but literally let it go, right? And fucking literally go. I'm the biggest star. Why are these people so insecure? He's made enough money that he could never be seen.
It's true that.
Ever a fucking
doesn't have to work ever again.
but we can easily say that. But if you're in that bubble and you're all driven like he is, to be fair to him, he is a bit of a workaholic. You go, all right, but like, don't be clamoring. Go and do your indie shit. Who cares if people be the bit part in these films and get your cred that way? You've made enough money. Don't be chasing these fucking budgets and box office records that you've got or you had, and you need to break your own records. It's bananas. And he's not got these people telling him what to do. He's the one driving this on, and we love him. He come back, and he was amazing. All right, he's fucked a few plans up for WrestleMania, but we got there in the end because it's The Rock, and it's the final boss, and he was amazing on telly. And once again, I always say the instincts with The Rock as a wrestler will never go, because that's what he is first and foremost. Whipping Seth when like the cameras were going off here, like just the swearing, doing what he wants. He's got them instincts. He's amazing at that. So he has to come. No, he is, Ben. He still is, and he's got all that. Why does he keep having to chase this? Just settle. Come back to WWE. Do these indie films. You Scorsese roles. Chill, Dwayne. You don't have to be this. People will still treat you as a mega star. You don't have to go chasing this, lad. It's bad though, Ben. It's embarrassing.
No, I agree. I'd just say he's got instincts in the moment, like, for him.
No, he had them. He had the greatest instinct, because everything he touched turned to gold. He did.
But he's got terrible instincts when it comes to, you know, what the plan should be, or, for example, like I say, turning up on that first Raw on Netflix and telling everyone that I'm in Cody and mates, really. Or, like, you know, the stuff with the Cena turn, which apparently on Unreal, like, they try and sell you that, like, oh, it was never planned for him to go heel. It was just supposed to be a big moment. That's what John says. That's all it ever was.
He wanted Cody, didn't he?
Like, they're not going to cover it. They're not going to, like, slag off Dwayne, are they? But they should fucking slag off Dwayne, because he's got bad instincts in that direction, unfortunately. And I think that's why he's nowhere to be seen when it comes to WWE. But again, never say never, mate. When they do finally get rid of Triple H, he'll be a mate. But yeah, Andy's nailed that. He's morphed his personality into like a robot since becoming that big star. But then worked himself into a shooter. That's who he is.
Even in the first 2, like when he was big, and then even in the 2 year, like I always go to Russo for this line, which hang me for this line. But when he left, he said, didn't he, when he left WWF, he said everything, the foundations were there for 2 years, and he was right. Of like, you could ride the wave of that for 2 years. Rock rode the wave of being that charming guy, even when he was making shit, because he had the charm. And then Andy's right. Ever since that period of like 2 years after it, where it's like, you're just turning into this caricature of yourself. You've lost all your charm, and the charm he's presenting is so fake now. You can see through it, like it's so transparent. It's sad.
And Cena's following the same path, mate.
Cena's worse, fellow. Cena's well worse than The Rock. He's well worse for me.
Well, it's not going to get any better there, but there we go. There's your and finally story.
I still love him, and I still want him back on telly. Get him back, mate, yeah.
I said it when we did that, and again, 5-1 tier list. Check it out. We did our 5-1 tier list of the WWF champions. But you were giving him shit. I was putting him over. You know, I would put him above Kurt Angle as people who got the business like the quickest. Like I know that's controversial for some people. Use Kurt Angle as the example. No, mate, The Rock was fucking debuting at Survivor Series 1996.
He did have generations of belt though, Ben. To be fair, I'm sticking up for Kurt. He did have his generation.
But by the next Survivor Series, he's literally one of the best fucking characters in the history of the wrestling business. Like, it's ridiculous. And then by January and February, like, put the belt on him. If Steve wasn't there to put the belt on, you'd be putting the fucking belt on him. That's how good he is in early 1998.
That's the shit you were chatting. Sorry, trying to put him above Steve. But anyway, we'll move on. Listen to that.
I'm just saying it's closer than you fucking boys were there. It's like Brett and Shawn, mate. Pick your man, pick your Rock, pick your Austin. I'm just saying it's closer than you would have, but anyway. Simon says, let's start your nonsense about not start your nonsense about Rock and Steve again. I don't know if he's talking to me or you. Probably me.
Probably me. On this one. It's always me with Simon these days, for fair play to him.
Well, with all that said, that's the news out the way. Let's get into the TV wrestling. I've even watched some Maple Leaf Pro Mate today, just with JP not here. Thought somebody ought to watch the debut episode. But we'll be talking the rest of the weekend's TV. But we do need to start with Dynamite, which did take place last night. And yeah, included a story that would have been one of the lead stories on the news, which was the rumors of Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega being somehow the main event of an AEW pay-per-view coming up. Turns out that was true, and that was what Dynamite was built around. Obviously, it didn't kick off the show, mate, but I think it is the most newsworthy thing coming out of this Dynamite. We did have, of course, Kenny Omega getting his championship celebration, getting a proper belt. I'm glad they've done that, but I don't know why the Young Bucks were the ones who had the belts. I don't know if they've still got power or not, but okay, there you go. He's got a new belt. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure at this point.
Forget about it, Ben. It's wrestling. Come on. Yeah.
But I don't know, where do we start, mate? Do we start with, Ospreay coming out and they're back and forth? Definitely got some thoughts on that one. You can tell me what a Goku is and what a Vegeta is. We'll get into that. And then Kevin Knight. It was almost like a double segment, wasn't it? Kevin Knight coming out and interrupting as well. And I still can't believe that's the match for Redemption, but we can get into that too. Some follow-up backstage on the show as well, but yeah, where would you like to start with all of that? What did you make of Kenny's promo? Let's start with that as far as the championship celebration, mate, and the overall going back and forths with the other lads.
It started off what I'd expect from Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, if I'm being honest. It got into Will Ospreay. We'll talk about that because I know you've got thoughts. I wanted to start with Kevin Knight because last time I was on here, it was the episode where it was the 2 weeks I watched when it was the debut promo he done on his own. And then the week later, he was with Don Callis. I thought he was fucking great on the mic here. I've got to give him so much credit. I thought he was. It's not hard to be better than Kenny Omega, to be fair, but he bounced off Kenny's fake babyface stuff well. And maybe I'm not reading in between the lines, but the stuff I've seen with Kevin Knight, he looks like if they do this, and maybe I'm giving Khan a bit too much credit, it's like he's thinking he's joined the Don Callis family too soon. When I've seen him behind Don, he's made little faces and little stuff like that where he cuts on the mic before him. Give him the chance to shine on his own. I thought he took me by surprise, Ben. He was fucking like he belonged there. I thought he was good. Very good.
Like I say, that first week wasn't great, but it felt like they overreacted to that first week and put him with the Don Callis family. So I only thought of it that way, like maybe this is a way out or not, but I don't want to start with a negative with it, but I just don't know what they're doing here with this Redemption main event.
Not the performance there, the main event, you mean?
No, generally Kevin Knight. I like Kevin Knight. They're making me not want to like Kevin Knight, but I do like Kevin Knight. I do think he's got loads of upside. But it's been, you've not missed anything. It's been just wacky. They ended, the pay-per-view with Revolution, wasn't it? With him taking out Darby Allin. That was the end of the show. He was the focus. The thing that we were supposed to be talking about coming out of that pay-per-view was Kevin Knight. And it was it felt a little bit big for where he was in the world, but all right, fair enough, let's go with it. And then, he cuts that promo the night after, and then it was Dynasty, wasn't it? And then after that promo, not particularly, wasn't going great, it wasn't going terrible, it was just a middle-of-the-road promo. They stuck him with Don Callis, which immediately, I think, moved him down the card. He became one of 16 people in the Don Callis family. He's got his little mid-card belt, and that's where he is in things. And yes, you had the ongoing story with MJF and the idea that he was going to cash in for his title shot, which we just all assumed was going to be a television match. And then now, I'm not saying the performance was bad. The performance was good.
Yeah.
But now he's going back and forth with Kenny Omega, and he's going to be the main event of Redemption. Like, it's just so fucking hot and cold. It's like, but hang on, he's got programs still going. Like, we haven't really got going yet with the Mike Bailey program, which I would assume would have, made sense to end the, Redemption, which is.
Didn't they have a match on Dynamite? They did.
Well, the pay-per-view's in Montreal. Like, you would think, like, that would be the place to do that. So I still think there's a possibility of Bailey being added and it being a three-way, and maybe that can make sense. But he's also got stuff going on with Darby still. And, like, they had to obviously have that segment on the outside and then set up the TV match next week, which is, I guess, fine. You're getting that out the way. But I do feel like you probably should have finished his mid-card feuds before you made him Kenny Omega's likely one and only pay-per-view title defense before we all presume he loses to Will Ospreay. Like, I just don't understand it. I'm getting whiplash explaining it, like the ups and downs and wouldn't the normal course of events be like, one, if Kenny was going to have like this title run, like, you'd probably want a bigger match for the pay-per-view. You've got possibilities on that I could name. And two, if you're going to Kevin Nice in this position to be a pay-per-view main eventer, surely you book him that way over the last few weeks, and surely you end his little mid-card feuds. I mean, I'd take the fucking belts off him as well, but, because Tony just fucking loves it, doesn't he? People with belts challenging other people with belts. But that's by the wayside. It's just, if this was always the plan, I don't understand why Kenny's where he is in the world, and I don't understand why Kevin Knight is where he has been in the world. It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, and that is not a pay-per-view main event. I'm sorry, that's a Dynamite main event. Like, this Redemption show, like, maybe they add Bailey and it becomes a three-way, but I don't think that is a pay-per-view main event either. Like, it feels like something slipped through the cracks. It feels like, there was going to be a rematch with MJF, and maybe
I think it's all MJF.
Like, and maybe this is Plan B. I mean, but to me, Plan B would surely be, if we're telling this Ospreay story with Moxley and the Green Street Hooligan stuff, like, just slide Moxley in there. Like, and you could tell that story, couldn't you? Moxley is trying to, hang on, why is he wrestling Kenny Omega before I do? Like, from Ospreay's point of view, like, great story, isn't it? Like, all of it. Definitely. But instead, he'd gone with Kevin Knight. Like, Kevin Knight's not in the position in the booking to be in this, even if you are right to lead with it, to be fair, that, like, his performance was good and he could be at this level at some point, but just, wow, like, mind-boggling that he's main event in Redemption.
And that's the thing, Benno, because I'm pretty sure when they did split up, and I'm sure, unless I'm no AEW fucking historian, I'm pretty sure he beat Mike Bailey on a Dynamite. Simon, correct me if I'm wrong there, mate. No, genuinely. And then, as you say, the Darby Allin stuff makes total sense, as you say, because he took him out to the pay-per-view. And I even get that to a degree, Ben. I agree with 95% of what you said there. But even if you're old and the Darby match, which they're having the match, Andy, next week, but even if that was your Wembley match for Darby, and you go, all right, it's been built up, he's getting Redemption on him, he's getting his payback, and they have a gimmick match, and
the name of the show, that makes sense.
Or even that, or even save it for Wembley, whatever. You go, all right. But you're right. I think something's happened with. Actually, he's not going to put Moxley in there. Actually, that would be amazing. The month before, you could have the tension with Ospreay and Mox, and then that pays off when Will wins. So you get all that little layers.
Not a fresh match, but a Plan B match between two main eventers.
It's just a story match that, which will follow on afterwards as well when Ospreay breaks away from these, but it's fear of booking Star v Star. It's asking John Moxley to do a job, which is fucking getting, I don't know, me to have a shit before I do a podcast. I mean, it's just absolutely wild. But at the same time, Ben, and I'm not just saying it's the easy way out, because to be fair to you fill these gaps in and you call it out when it is. On the night, the match is going to be great, and it's all going to get forgotten about. No, genuinely, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a great match. You're saying it's Omega's one and only title defense, but it'll probably go down as an amazing match. Kevin Knight will hang with Kenny Omega. That'll be his, like, we'll take you to the next level and we'll see what's what. But and maybe, as I said before, I'm giving them too much credit, but if that's the storyline, which is meta and kayfabe, real life of, like, we all said, he's joined the Don Callis family too early. If that's the storyline they're telling, I wouldn't mind that in a little way, Benno. That way, because even Omega alluded to it, didn't he, in the promo? It's like, you've done the wrong thing here. You've joined him too early. There's a good guy in there. So I think they're going to do that, and he'll hold his hands up and go, you know what? After they've tied Darby up, I joined too quick. Can you forgive me, type thing? And I think that'd be fine. And then you can go into the MJF stuff then again, can't you? After that. So maybe I'm giving them too much credit, like I keep saying, but if they do
that'd be flip-flopping a bit too much for me.
It is, but I think that's. But ultimately, what you said, on paper, that's not a pay-per-view main event. We all know that, but the match will be good on the night, and people will forget that. That's what you've just said, Ben. So it's a weird one. It's weird.
No, it is. And obviously, elsewhere on the show, we did have, Darby and Kenny's weird exchange with, again, Moxley kind of playing this weird kind of all-seeing, all-knowing character in it. Again, felt like set up to do something there. And also, continuing on the Bailey stuff with Kevin Knight, where Bailey's trying to have a word with him and he doesn't want to hear it. Like Simon saying there, as you say, yeah, Kevin Knight beating Speedball on Dynamite a few weeks ago. But, like, that story is still very much ongoing. Like, again, I think that would make sense to me because, like, you wouldn't be able to do it anywhere else, but it's Montreal, so, like, yeah, do it there, do Speedball, put him in the three-way, and then maybe that explains why we're going through all this on Dynamite. But I think the biggest thing for me as well is it's like Kenny Omega's going to be champion for 6 weeks? Like, I feel like, in my head, I was like, we're getting a Kenny Omega match every week, and he's going to work. Again, you're not wrong, the match will be good. Like, as a Dynamite match, Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight, look what he did with Kevin Knight, and now look what he's doing with Darby Allin this week, and now look what he's doing with Kyle Fletcher the next week type of thing. But it doesn't seem like that, does it? This is just going to be the title one. It's like when somebody said on Discord today when Danielson had the belt, and, like, his main match was against Jack Perry before he had dropped it. Like, it feels like another one of them, doesn't it? Which, again, why wouldn't you put the belt on Kenny earlier then to make more of it? Why are we where we are? But injuries aside, I still think there'd be a better plan B than what they've done. But yeah.
But listen, this is the flip to what I always say, though, Benno. Like, I'm a proponent for, like, shorter title reigns, but AEW's done a lot of title changes this year, haven't they? They've done a fucking lot of them, and that's where
just makes you wonder what the plan was. It's like the Hangman, like part of the year, isn't it?
Since that infamous fucking Samoa Joe tirade,
Samoa Joe was world champion.
Yeah, since that tirade, Benno, and
since
since that title change, it's been flip-flop all over the fucking place, where they've been trying to retcon storylines, paying back to storylines that, like, did they really exist? Are they in our minds? These stories that Khan wanted to finish, which you admire it in a way that he wants to tie it up, but then sometimes you go, just let it go, Tony. No one be asked. Just give an explanation on the mic or something. You don't need to have full-on fucking pay-per-views like building back towards these, but it's just wild. And then Hangman Page comes back on Collision, Benno. Don't want to jump all
Not
over.
even a mention. I don't think his name was uttered on Dynamite.
It's fucking mental.
The main character, mate.
The fucking main character, and he doesn't get mentioned though, Benno. It's
probably
crazy.
shouldn't. He's after that Collision promo. Did you see it? Jesus.
Yeah, of course he did.
Awkward as fuck. Yeah, but he didn't know what to say, did he? He was, I guess I'm going after other belts.
He was local
Nice
to
to
his house, wasn't it? To be fair, and they're trying to pop a number.
And he wants to show off his new haircut and his vasectomy.
He shouldn't have showed off his new haircut if we're being fair, and that's from a man who's bald who can't grow hair. Do you know what I mean? So I can't say nothing, but Jesus.
Hey, wouldn't he be good? There you go, there's your plan B. A young man, fancy coming to work, mate. Do you know where Kenny? Done. There you go, sorted. That's a big match.
But listen, it's bananas. But even the Ospreay stuff, Ben, do you want to go into that? I found out what it is. A Goku.
I mean, let me put it to you, like, because I really enjoyed our. I'm not trying to plug too hard, but like we did the Patreon live last week, didn't we? Me and you, and we just kind of backdoored our way into the conversation, didn't we? Unfortunately, it was only timely for about 24 hours, and then Dynamite happened, and it was all sorted. But like about whether they should go with MJF or they should go with Kenny for Ospreay's opponents are all in, and like part of the conversation was, are you doing a pure babyface has to beat the dastardly heel and have his big moment with the title, which MJF could talk up for 6 weeks, and there'd probably be promos we'd all hate on this show, and there'd be promos we'd probably enjoy in this show, but it would be the more traditional way to do it, wouldn't it? Like to build to your big show. And we kind of came to the conclusion, even you, I think we'd rather see Kenny and Ospreay.
Yes.
Like, not even think. We know we'd rather see Kenny and Ospreay, and you can sell that in a different way to get there. But I think the one caveat that we had was you're going to have to put them in the ring and they're going to have to talk at each other.
Yes.
And I think that caveat hit everyone this week, didn't it? And I'm the high man on Ospreay's promos. I do like him, but
I like his character. Yeah.
I mean, I like it when he's not bringing up fucking manga or whatever it was this week. Like, kids tell me what all this stuff. Maybe you can tell me what it was.
I can tell you, Ben.
We're referencing here, but this wasn't the one, was it? This week, like, it wasn't a good sign for what's to come.
I'll get that disclaimer out the way. I had to Google what these characters were, Ben, and they're from Dragon Ball Z, mate. That's what we're coming to in professional. Listen,
to be fair.
We've all got our interests. We've all got our wrestling being the biggest one, Ben. You know what I mean? We can.
Yeah, we can't talk to anyone, can we?
We can't talk to nobody really.
We're bottom of the pile.
My mind, honestly, and I know we shouldn't because I'm doing, I think what you said, someone I hate this week. But I was just thinking there, going, Remember when Steve? No, because this has got to be context, and obviously these aren't Steve Austin and The Rock, of course they're not. But the modern day equivalent of your two big baby faces going at it at a stadium show, at your biggest show of the year. And I just thought to myself, imagine that sit down interview with Jim Ross on that SmackDown. Steve Austin turned around and went to The Rock, "This is like Mario and Luigi going against each other at WrestleMania."
He might have a 2002
title. I mean, what are they doing though, Benno? Why? And I've done the backstory. Basically, these two characters started off as bitter rivals, turned into they like going against each other, turned into great friends to respect. So that's what the lore is of what they started off hating each other in match 1. They became rivals, match 2, competitive. Now the friends going at it in match 3. So it makes sense of what he's saying. As you got a pop, people got the reference, fair play. I'm just gobsmacked. This is me, and I love video games to a degree. The moment these wrestlers started cosplaying as video game characters was a different business for me. And I'm including WWE people in there, your Seth Rollins of the world. Just leave it out. Just get some wrestling gear, mate. Just get some fucking boots, trunks, fucking jackets, robes. Let's go, eh? Jesus Christ, that's my personal opinion, because it zoned me out. It zoned me out of it, Ben. But as you say, they're not the greatest promos in the world anyway. So for me, they needed a bit more substance. And listen, they'll probably get it back. And once again, but this is where it lays in. I'm sorry if I'm going everywhere. This is the main event now. He'll get past Kevin Knight. We can't have 6 more weeks, 8 more weeks of this on the mic. We need to be laying into the Death Rider stuff. We need to be putting Jeopardy on the line. We need to be doing some more, because we can't have these two fucking shaking each other's arm for 6 weeks, Ben. There's no chance of it.
I know what you're saying, but I don't think the Death Rider stuff helps either. Like, there's interesting stories you can tell within the Death Rider stuff. I gave an example, Moxley Kenny. Like, if you have to do it, do that. But that also is just murky around Ospreay. It's made me think the conversation we had on the live. Like, I don't want to say that I'd prefer Ospreay. But for your big show selling your big babyface with it, it's just easier, isn't it? Like, it's an easier story to tell over the weeks, and I think the build would be better. But it's the match at the end of it, isn't it? So
the build would be easier, better. As you say, really hammering it home promos. As you say, MJF had overstepped the mark on a few of them, but the ones you get right, you'd be like, we want him to beat this cunt. Yeah. Whereas you're sacrificing that for the build, but you're going to get a way better trilogy match, legacy match. For
I think it would be this bigger sacrifice this quick, though, is the thing, isn't it? Like, you know, like, and again, you know, future Benno's going to be made up that he gets Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and won't care what weekend show Benno reviews Dynamite every week has to fucking go through. Like, it's going to all be worth it to get there, isn't it? But, like, yeah, like, there's just not a great first start. And again, positives and negatives to everything. I don't think it's contradictory to say it, but, like, we all would agree they needed to get the All-In main event out there early. 100%. They needed to tell people what it was, and that will help sell tickets. That is also true. But again, the negative is, what the fuck are they going to fill TV with for the next week? And like I say, Death Rider stuff with Ospreay, I think it just muddies. It's another layer of, like, you know, the big goodie going home to get his big belt. And you've got, like, this fucking weird heel stable that are up and down the show, like, contradicted every part of it. I think that muddies it too as well. It's not a great cocktail. It's not going to be a great build, this, I'm thinking.
But this is what it goes into what I was saying last week and ties into you in there and ties into the segment backstage with Moxley and Will Ospreay. This is my whole thing on it, Ben. You're going to get, because Ospreay, Mox said to him, didn't he? When you get the chance, pull the trigger, basically. No matter who's in front of you. Now, I love that line, because that means Ospreay to Mox himself. That'll come back to haunt Mox, that line. It was said, it was the old Paul Heyman when Brock Lesnar got turned on by Heyman and Big Show. I'm going to leave with the WWE champion tonight, but he meant Big Show. To me, that was Mox basically saying, you're going to take me out when the time's right as well. So I don't know, Ben, and this is good. This is a positive for me. That's going to add that into the... Because what we need... That's what I'm trying to say about all this, Benno. Unless this gets solved in the next 7 weeks and we get this Death Rider stuff said,
that's what I want.
If Will Ospreay wins the title, then the Death Riders are going to be lifting him up at Wembley on his shoulders, Benno. And listen, that's what's going to happen, because you're going to have to do it, because you've been so adamant on telling this and it's been dominating the airwaves. You can't not. If you're not going to tie it all up, you can't just blank that when they're in the ring celebrating when he won the Owen and Moxley's training them. And as I say, they're not going to do it fucking, as I say, Triple H, Batista, thumbs up, thumbs down to Randy Orton. They're not going to kill the heat on the night and end Wembley with them turning on Ospreay. There's no chance of that. So you're going to have them celebrating, but that might play into it where and it's the only thing where you'll get that moment where Mox is banging on the apron going, pull the trigger. You're going to have Kenny Omega with them fucking hammy facials to the camera, and you're going to have Ospreay willing to do that hidden blade. You're going to get this. You're going to get this segment, and will he turn on Mox then and then win it? That's the only doubt in people's mind, because as you said before, Ben, we all expect Will Ospreay to win, and he's going to win. But that would be a decent enough red herring in the match to go, ooh. But it's still tough, isn't it? This one.
But again, is that the optimum way to sell your big baby faces, big homecoming, big WrestleMania-esque title win? Like, all that can be true, and there are ways to tell that story in interesting ways, and we've seen it on TV at various points. But I think overall, does it undercut it? Is it not as clean as just doing, you know, the babyface beating the big heel at the big pay-per-view? You know, like.
Do you know what I love though, Benno?
Sorry, just quickly, Ewan's right there. We should be. We don't. That's the thing. We often fall into this trap. Like, oh well, they couldn't possibly do it now. They couldn't possibly do the 10 now. Why not? They've been telling this story. Plot the story out better. The story should be peaking now. Ospreay and Moxley should be happening at Redemption, and Ospreay should be getting that fucking monkey off his back of Moxley, and then going forth to Wembley like that. Yeah. I think would be fine. But like the story is at the wrong point, isn't it? For that, like as you said.
Even if that was the point where the bitter things and Moxley can do his Moxley shades of grey and shake his hand and say, go after him. You've earned your fucking being the master and the students. You've beat me. You've earned the right now. I'll leave you alone as respect type thing and go and do it. And then we, on the night, get this big face v face, whatever Dragon Ball Z he wants. You know what I mean? Genuinely. Whatever. No, I'm not saying that as a slight there. If you want to do that, then do that type of story. And it's, as you say, it's going to be an amazing match on the night, Benno. But what I was going to say is this is one for me, Benno, where, and I think our conversation was good last week, and I'm enjoying this. And it doesn't. This is the whole thing of being a wrestling fan. It's great that we're having this conversation though, and there's so much, and it's a big match, and what are they going to do? This is what it's about, though. This is what you're trying to do and trying to say, and I enjoy it. I actually am looking forward to how they get there with all this. Genuinely, I am.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna like say, well, you know, hopefully we'll get to a point where this makes people even more, you know, emotionally invested in the outcome of All In. But I don't know. I feel like if JP was here, he'd say literally like based on just going back to the Ospreay Omega promo. Like I think he'd just have them neither of them on Dynamite again. Like no promos, no video packages, and like let the match speak for itself. Like there's an argument for that too, isn't there? Like you could do damage the other way.
You've got to fill these weeks, man, and these double shows and these pay-per-views before it. And you're right to announce it, but as you say there,
still a good call. But the consequences, this isn't it, and we've got to talk about it. All right, unless you had more on that, like I say, we do have still Derby creeping around, and
get me on every week, Benno, for this match breakdown, please, because I'm enjoying these conversations. Fucking love it.
We had a good one again. Listen to the live last week, really good conversation too. But there we go. Unless you've got more on that, let's hope they can improve going forwards. What else was on Dynamite that you fancied? Did you see Copen Cage? And they beat a heel tag team. They're called the Death Riders. I don't know if you know them. I really enjoyed, by the way, I didn't mention it there, like when they came out to save Ospreay at the end of that segment. So Tony Schiavone was like, what's going on? He was so confused. And Excalibur had to be, well, as you know, Tony, Will Ospreay is a member of the Death Riders, because he was just like, why are the two heel stables staring each other down right now? Honestly, it's a mess. But yes, the heel wheel Utah and Daniel Garcia got beat, and then that match was more about less said about the Cope sing-along, the better, but Young Bucks watching from the crowd. Hopefully, we're getting where we all expect we're getting at All In with some kind of big tag team match. As Gareth keeps saying, there might be 19 teams in that by the time WWE get done with their releases, but we also had Claudio and the Dogs attacking Cage and Cope, because again, Claudio was part of a heel stable, as are the Dogs, and the Bang Bang Gang made the save. Any thoughts on any of that?
I mean, there's like 19 wrestlers v 19 wrestlers at the end of this fucking thing, but
like the TLC ladder match is going to be the fucking New Day, the Bar, the Young Bucks, FDR, like everyone, Kofi Christian, Dudley Boys, bring them in. Spike Dudley and Rhino.
The pay-per-view match is Edge and Christian v Claudio and Pac, isn't it? So it's going against the heels again. So
and going against my appetite for this pay-per-view. Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, Ben. The match was just what it was, wasn't it? And it was just, as you say, notable for all these people getting involved. The Bucks, as you say, cheering on from the crowd, just making sure they're going to be involved somehow at come All In. But not much to say, really, Ben. I mean, if I can pick what I want to talk about, I want to talk about Carl Fletcher versus Commander, because I bet you that's why Dave Meltzer loved this show. And to be fair to him,
he gave it 4.75 in the Observer today.
that feel, listen, it was great. And listen, for someone like Carl Fletcher, who's one of my favourite wrestlers to watch, he made the most. Like, Commander is what he is, and he's so fucking, like, great to watch aerially, of course, goes without saying. But the way he tied into these near falls, and it literally got the fans into it, is typical what Fletcher does. Like, genuinely, thought this was great. Maybe not as high as that, but I really enjoyed this. The fucking turbo fucking destroyer off the top, just the near falls, the way he built up when he bounced off the ropes and saved himself, and great stuff, Ben. Like, genuinely had a great time at that one.
Did you see Davis and Speedball from Collision? I'm guessing no.
No, I didn't.
Fletcher was on commentary for that, and like it was very clearly he was having the best time of his life, and he was watching it going, right, I'm gonna fucking beat that, and like literally, because we said it, like that match was just, it was so indie, it was so Fight Club Pro, it was so fucking finisher spammy, and he was like, right, I'm gonna do that on Dynamite with Commander. Obviously, it was the choice. So yeah,
but I always say, Benno,
was.
He's the wrestler. He took over from, I know Ospreay will take a nuts bump in every match, but he's the one for me, Fletcher. Like, even that Hurricane Rana that Commander done from the top to the outside, spun him into the announce table. The fucking bump he takes into the side of the announce table just to great stuff. He's not going to be the same at fucking 35 though, is he? Carl Fletcher, he just needs to fucking tone it down a bit, but we don't want him to because he's great to watch. What a performer.
Good luck to you telling wrestlers like that at this young age to it.
Simon, I didn't bury it because El Clon was in it, really. I buried it because John Moxley was in there. Fucking hell. And I love him on the promo.
Who again, by the way, of course, he's not wrestling Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view because he'd have to lose, mate, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
So we can't have that. Post that, obviously, there was also all kinds of people coming out. We had Takeshita going after Fletcher. We had Okada turning up, and then Brodito making the save, which ended up leading to later on the show, Carl Fletcher calling out Bandito for another match at AEW Redemption. Bandito, the ROH World Champion, who doesn't win matches outside of the job tag match that he randomly did. I was thinking that, I was watching like the tag match Brodito versus the Factory and going, okay, why is this on Dynamite? Like, why is Nick Comoroto on Dynamite? What year is this? It's like, oh no, they're clearly, getting a squash match to set them up for some kind of tag run again. Nah, Bandito's just going to be at the pay-per-view losing to Carl Fletcher in a singles match. Cool.
But that's what I mean though, Ben. But this is what I'm saying, and this isn't a go or a
good,
cop-out for AEW. It'll be amazing, and we won't be asked at all this. This is why they get away with it, though.
But you could put the roster into a tumbler, wouldn't you? And you get 8 great matches.
That's that's what I mean. No matter what you do with this cycle, as you say, spinning them around in the washing machine and whatever it dries first, you're literally gonna get great matches. I feel like this match has happened on 4 pay-per-views, but it hasn't, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the same as Andrade v Fletcher, or put them all in. Honestly, put them in a cycle on 20 degrees for 17-minute quick wash, and they're all going to come out and have great matches.
I think when we get grief sometimes because we're having a go at the book and people go, yeah, but the match will be good. It's like, I know. And we should take that. We shouldn't. I think also, as well as some truth in that, we shouldn't take it for granted. Like, this company exists that puts these matches on. But also, that's your baseline, innit? Because genuinely, every person who's on Dynamite this week, you could mix them up and put them in different combinations, and all those matches would be good. Like, I think we've got to also be able to have a conversation about whether the matches feel prestigious or important, or matches we're invested in, or stories we're invested in. Like, I think that's important too. Anyway, I'm turning into the old man I always hate.
And this is probably not the stick to beat them with. At the time where all the belts, I think this is the right time to beat the stick with AEW having the belts conversation, everyone having a belt, because I'm genuinely confused. And granted, I'm not there every week. It feels like all of them Tumblr people, will call them, I've got a belt. It's mental. It's like, what?
But also for a lot of those matches, like, your Commander's going to lose. Bandito's going to lose. Like, so again, match will be good in a very like athletic way, I suppose is the word. But or do any of us care who wins? Because, like, how could you be invested? How could you be rooting for Bandito for this big one? Like, again, I think you need that for a pay-per-view match. Like, it hasn't got it for me. But again, we'll run down the pay-per-view card at the end. Elsewhere on Dynamite, what else we got? The Demand chance, the conglomeration, speaking of belts, to a trios match. Apparently the Lethal Twist are joining the Demand, mate. So good luck. Great stable, that one. We'll see how that goes for old Jay Lethal with his latest run. Andrade, Jake Doyle, did you see that? Any good? Any fan of that one?
Not really, Benno. This one, I didn't see all of this one. I've seen a few highlights of this, but Andrade's another one, isn't it? Put him in the mix in that Tumblr, and he feels like he's fucking going for the national title. Is it? Oh, did they get that title right? The national title against Davis?
Yes, Davis' title, yeah. Which, so, I like this book. I think it sets that up nicely. It did feel a little bit like Andrade kind of just went past Jake Doyle. I do think there's something to be said. Jake Doyle's like supposed to be like a heavy, like Mark Davis is, and maybe shouldn't be taking so many losses. But you know, he is who he is in, like that Don Callis family. But like Andrade looked the fucking business, both in the match and in, like the little fucking interview segment that he did with Renee, and then obviously his entrance with the two girls and all of that stuff. And yeah, looked good in the match too, like he did. You know, pretty straightforward, really, one-sided, but. Yeah, him and Davis. You forget until we saw it in Collision last week. You'd forget Davis is that national champion, mate. But I should have thrown that in the grapple quiz the other week.
Davis, another one, Ben. Like he's one I'll fucking seek out, or if I see a match him single, fucking impresses the hell out of me.
He's clearly getting a reward, isn't he? Like this little title run. Yeah. That's and Andrade's probably going to go over, but you know it's something for Davis. Yeah,
of course.
We had the Jack Perry promo. They've re-signed him, mate. I don't know why, but Tony loves him, and yeah, we'll still be pushing him in 15 years. I mentioned the Brodido match. We've done Carl Fletcher, Braun Beds.
Oh, what about Brian Cage v Darby Allin? Peanut, what did you like on that one?
Match one here. What's Brian Cage doing on telly? Did you see him coming out for the big save during the Callis family segment? And he had like his tracky pants on, looking like Wardlow, like about to go around the shop for a loaf of bread, even with his hair messed up as well. I did that before, by the way. Got some food ordered and went down with my hat on, and the girl who like I ran from here just looked at me like she'd seen a ghost, and I realised it was just my ginger hair just there. Altogether, that I usually try to hide, but yeah, he wasn't bothered by that. It was complete nothing. Darby Allin went over.
The only thing I liked in it was. Once again, Darby Allin, newsflash, he's an absolute maniac. That gorilla press, mate, from the ramp into the ring post, that head, he banged his head, like, legit. And that wasn't selling when he was rubbing his head, Benno. He was fucking hurt off that. I'm not having it. But that was mental. No need for it.
Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, and Lance Archer supposed to be heavies, but about as heavy as a bag of cheese and onion crisps. Ewan says, yeah, I agree. But there we go. And Jack Perry on the same page with the Warlord at SummerSlam '91. Did you see Jericho fucking call out Ciampa as the Painmaker? To be fair, I sent you over the playlist of most of the stuff on Dynamite this week. For some reason, they haven't put that on their YouTube.
It's on the pay-per-view, though, Benno. It's on the pay-per-view.
So like that's another one, it got a medium pop, and then Ciampa's promo after Jericho's actually got a louder pop, but like Jericho chalked that up as a victory. Like even did the fucking weird like scream and bite at the camera thing he does in the face paint. Like who is nostalgic for the Painmaker run? Like who among us wants to see this again? Like this WWE are just more and more heels for me. The fact that they didn't bring Jericho back, and it's their fault.
But Ciampa got the big win, didn't he? This is Jericho getting his win back over fucking.
Yeah, I thought it was. I genuinely thought they were done. I thought like big beach break win, Ciampa gets the notable win, and Jericho gets the title when he put him over. But
Jericho,
Triple H,
he gets to win on the pay per view.
But then will it be the one? It's less people in it, so is it a Triple H? Maybe it's a reverse Triple H. We'll see. But awful. Shouldn't be on this television program or in this company, but. That's the way we're in. And yeah, Mercedes and Divine Dominion beating Willow, Mayo, Weld and Hyan. You said before you were surprised that the cast of characters here. Obviously, Willow being back. I'm glad that she's mixing it up with Mercedes. They're pretty much telegraphing that like you're either getting a three-way or a Mercedes at all in. But, you know, Tekla might have something to say about that. But this was a good match. It was just so late in the show. Like it was past that 2-hour point into that like 20-minute overrun point where you've already had so much mostly meaningless wrestling on this show. It was a lot, but no, it was a good match.
Yeah, listen, as I say, I was just shocked but I'm a big fan of Megan Bain and Lena Cross as well. So seeing them was good to see in the main event, especially. But as you say, Ben, it was all about Willow, Monet in there. Maya Weld and Hyan, not as familiar with them, haven't seen them much, but it just made
Maya Weld and Mercedes from the pay per view. You should watch it. As should Dave Meltzer, mate. You've got that in common with him. He's not seen it either.
Okay.
And he was there. He's claiming he didn't see it because he doesn't want to rate it because he's scared.
Is that what the news is? Yeah, discourse about that. He hasn't rated
genuinely,
it.
Yeah. Like he was like, I've realised that everyone else seemed to love this match, and I didn't. Clearly, he didn't say it, but it was like clearly he didn't think much of it. And he's like, I'll watch it back before I put the rating in the Observer. And now it's become an ongoing bit every week. And he's like, well, I'm on holiday this week. And well, next week I've got so much to watch, and maybe the week after I'll get to it. And it's just dragging on and dragging on and dragging on.
To be fair to him,
is that, Dave?
At least he's honest, Dave. But if he gives you 4, then it's not the end of the world because he's not going to go less than 4 on it.
It will be to the Sasha stands, mate. The Sasha army.
Fuck. I mean, Listen, I've missed out on. Listen, I've never been a fan of Monet. I know she's come back with a good run. Apparently, you guys have said as well. And had some killer matches this year, which I'm blind to, obviously, so I can't comment on them. But just not for me, Ben. But yeah, you understand putting it in the all-in main event, of course you do, with it being the biggest star they've got really now. Storm, and that's not there, are they? So,
and I said it, like, I'm happy with it. I think a three-way, I think it avoids the problem of either having to make. Yeah, you either have to make Mercedes a face, or you have to pull the trigger early on making Tekla like a situational face. Shouldn't do either of those. Willow can be there to be the baby face. Sorted. You probably have to do some kind of merging of the two women's belts, which I'm not against, especially with the division being what it is right now. But
how does she get in there? She won the Owen, didn't she? So what's her storyline reason to get in there unless she wins the belt and she gets the rematch and then do it that way? But who knows? Who knows?
Well, there we go. Yeah. That's the situation. So the AEW Women's Division is what it is. But no, good match. I don't know if you had any other thoughts on the match itself.
No, it was sound enough for me, Benno. Yeah, as I say, good to see Bain and Cross. Like, I'm a big fan of them. So I say any chance to get.
They fit well with Mercedes too. I like that.
Very much so. Very much so.
But yeah, there you go. That was Dynamite. And yeah, we have a great Redemption card coming up. Omega Knight, Tekla, Willow, Carl Fletcher, Bandido. And obviously with Mercedes waiting for the winner to Tekla, Willow after the Owen. To Fletcher, Bandido, Mark Davis, Andrade, Cope and Cage v the Death Riders, and Jericho vs Russell Champa. It'll be good on the night.
No, but it is. That is. No, listen, it will be. But even on the card itself, Benno, that is a step down, even star-wise. And it is, though, isn't it? It's still going to be good. But that is a B pay-per-view. And to be fair, it is a B pay-per-view. So you can look at it in both regards because they are saving themselves for the big one at Wembley. So you can be critical in a way, which you can, but then at the same time, it's like it's a setup pay-per-view. So, yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah.
Didn't have to do a pay-per-view, did they? Oh,
no. Every month now,
they got to. We've got a collision coming up, obviously recording tonight, as of recording, Thursday. Boston Mass, Hikaru Shida against Kirin Aminata for the TBS title. Nick Wayne versus Jack Perry and Tommaso Ciampa versus to be announced. And we also have on ROH TV coming up this weekend. We have Leo Rush against Big Shotty Lee and the Premier Athletes against it says Beef TCP. This is the problem when I've got this from Twitter. I don't know who that is. Apparently called out the champions, and it's going to be Dalton Castle and the Outrunners versus those lads. There you go. That's ROH. As I mentioned, I also watched Maple Leaf Pro. Stu Grayson beating Jonathan Gresham for the interim Maple Leaf championship on that. It was all right. Gresham found his level. Rhino versus Gamma Singh. Beat Gamma Singh. Skip that. James Drake and Zach Gibson debuted on the show. And again, don't think they're with AEW right now. It doesn't seem like, which is a shame. Beat Jesse Bieber and Johnny DeLuca. And Giselle Shaw beat Alice Crowley on that as well. Impact is also coming up tonight. We have Cedric Alexander v Fabian Eichner for the X Division title on that. Moose versus AJ Francis, which seems like, I don't know, be careful what you wish for. Rosary versus Emma Elegance, Haley Hudson versus Tia Hall, and Bear Bronson versus Ricky Sosa. And also, mate, TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth is appearing on the show.
I mean, listen, I don't even know why I'm saying this. I don't know why Cedric Alexander v Fabian Eichner did pique me a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe because Eichner's in there and it's something a little bit fresh than the same old fucking names we seem to read / hear every week on this show. So I give it a bit of credit for that.
JP reads them. I don't hear them.
Yeah, everywhere else on there is like, what is it? Like, what is this at the point? Listen, I'm not as a hater of Nick Nemeth as anyone else, but he shouldn't be a world champion, should he, anywhere in the world at this point of his career. So, yeah, it is what it is, Ben, unfortunately.
Well, what else is going on TV, Matty, before we get to the big one coming up Saturday night?
We've got JCW, Ben, Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Ship or shit?
It says ship on this, but it is shit, isn't it? We've got the father of, in the biggest reveal of the year, Benno, the father of Jasmine St. Clair's baby will be revealed.
Fucking hell.
Have
you seen the graphic for that? I was going to put it on screen. I can't. We'll get cancelled. They should get cancelled for it. It's awful. It's awful.
JCW, let's move on. JCW Lunacy World Championship. Caleb Conley versus Josh Bishop. Yep. And what are Barnabas the Bazaar's plans for Ho Kane? That's the $1 million question, man. tune in to JCW to find out. I won't, you won't, and I'm pretty sure most of our listeners won't. So if anyone does, though, let us know what happens.
Yeah, John Paul, let us know. What else we got going on?
We've got AAA TV. Some would say the greatest booked promotion in the world, Benno. That's not me, but some would say. We've got the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles, #1 contender match of La Hydra and Laredo Kid versus Joaquin Wilde and Fabi Apache. Andrea Bazzarte to meet with Rey Mysterio. Big talks there. And the future of the AAA Latin American Championship will be addressed, Benno. Damian Priest down there in old AAA at the minute. So, yeah. See what the best booker in the world, me Mark, can do with Damian Priest to save his career, Benno.
I'm all right, you know. I'm fine.
Not an advertised, Benno, coming up for the WWE SmackDown, mate. I mean, does that shock
Unlike
you?
that minute, mate. 24 hours out.
Listen, they've got a big show the night after to the preview here, Benno. I'm pretty sure I've got to preview it here, mate, as well. So we'll jump right ahead to Saturday night's main event, hailing from the Mecca, the world's most famous arena in the world. The world's most famous arena in the world, Benno. I'm adding more to it every time I say it. It's Saturday night's main event. It is.
Aren't they of AEW running it? Jesus Christ.
I'll give him the first billing, to be fair to you, Benno. As you put up there on the graphic before to troll me at the start, it is Danhausen himself. And listen, flag these tapes, record it. I'll give him this one. I'll give him this moment in time that he can save it, because he's earned this. He's earned this appearance at the Garden. It's Daniel Hausen versus JD McDonough, unfortunately, with Dominic Mysterio, because that's the one they're building to. That's the SummerSlam match if I've ever seen one, in a no disqualification match. And as I said before, he's earned it, Ben. He's done the hard work. He's done the media. He's done his fucking putting his face out there and earned this with the Knicks run. So the only time I'll ever say he's earned it. But he has, though. Even I can't say so. I'm sure you agree, because he has. And he'll be over as fuck. He'll be over as fuck, won't he?
Just a shame it's against the ghost of Jordan Devlin. Could it not have been Dominic Mysterio instead? I think that would be... I mean, we've got to talk about it. Like, this Saturday night's main event is proper Battle of the Belts level stuff. Like, you're a Tony Khan away from having, like, just a random belt there. You can be like, well, that's a CML belt, so that counts for Battle of the Belts, and we use the ROH ones, and that'll sort it. Like, we are a long way away from what they were saying. That I was going to say ages ago. Like, was it the last one where they had all the fucking lads on it? Like, fucking, it wasn't long ago. Like, they've just. I mean, obviously the Cena retirement was a big one as well. They've just thrown in the towel on this, and therefore Danhausen gets a booking. So, I mean, I'll take that as a win.
Once again, and I'm not the one who's pictured this or booked this or laid this out, but I'm putting my brain into their brains here. They're probably going to counter this with, well, Danhausen's earned this. You've got a women's tag team title change, which is probably going to happen, so you get your title change. You've got I'm not jumping ahead because we'll go through these quickly, but you've got Bayley and Lyra, which is a feud that's been built. You know, they were partners this. And you've got
Bailey Swansong now.
Candy coexist, but like in two big. So, and you get the big dog appearing. Do you know what I mean? So, I agree with you. On paper, it looks a bit ooh, but when you look at it from that side of how they've organised this card, you go, okay, you know what I mean? You can kind of, because that tag, you know, we'll go through the women's tag team titles. Paige and Brie Bella are probably going to put Fatal Influence over, which is the right call at this point. Paige had a nostalgic run, which to be fair, I'm still.
Well, Nikki's due to come back, hasn't she? I didn't include it in the news, but apparently she's due to come back.
And it's sustained, though, Ben, to be fair. Like, it's not just a one-off, they sustained, but it is time for that. She is a filling in with the Bellas, as you say. So it is time to give Fatal Influence, who did start off strong, kind of waned a little bit. They need these titles now to keep their push going on. So that's right. Listen, Bayley and Lyra again, they've been partners. They've had the big turn. It's come on from Lyra. And as you say, Bayley Swansong is too. She's going to put Lyra on the way out and hopefully get her to the races as a heel. So that's a tick
and get
in the
Bayley
box.
to AEW, get her to Jacksonville. Yeah.
Get Bayley to AEW for all in, of course. Get that. And then you've got they haven't, Triple H doesn't do it often, the Candy coexist, but it's earned here with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. We've got the big match announced. This is probably the first time they've had a promo and they've set the match up, but this is the first time they're going to be in the ring together. Obviously, as a tag team going up against Gunther and Sami Zayn, which on paper, good tag match. You get a lot of story, a lot of hope in Division 5. But we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like, as much as like they've clearly stopped giving away stuff on these Saturday night main events, it does feel very like 80s or early 90s Saturday Night's main event.
Definitely.
They put one on YouTube the other day, and it was like Ultimate Warrior teamer with Randy Savage against, I can't remember who the two heels were, and it was like,
Nasty Boys. It's
yeah.
It's the one with Bulldog and Sean in it before Survivor
That's it.
Series.
Bulldog Sean's on it as well. They put it up like 3 weeks ago. I was looking at Hamflick going, oh,
When they call Nasty Boys, they're in there with you.
Yeah. And like, it does feel very Saturday Night's main event to do it. And yeah, I think there'll be stories a go, and it'll be, like I say, I shouldn't undersell it. MSG are going to be going crazy, as you said, for Danhausen. God bless him. I look forward to him getting the moment. But I think they'll be going. I think the show's going to end with all three of them in the ring. I think they're going to repeat what they've been doing in the house show loop over the last while with Punk Cody and Danhausen celebrating at the end of a Saturday Night's main event. But that aside, like, obviously, yeah, Sami Zayn being MIA and, you know, this being his big return and all of that, like, that's going to be interesting, isn't it, from a story point of view? And yeah, Punk and Cody,
might get in
presumably something will happen. Yeah, Aldous will probably get involved as well. Like, I think it's okay. If Saturday Night's main event is this now, I think that's okay. I think that's okay as a main event.
This main event would be great bullshit if you had Aldous.
With stars in it.
Yeah, if you have Sammy, if you have Cody and Punk having a bit of like fucking miscommunication and a bit of ooh-ahs all the way through it, it could be really good bullshit, and you end the show with a good cliffhanger for next week's SmackDown with Cody and Punk. So there could be lots to be done here, to be fair.
Well, Andy says we should be ending the show with Roman getting a rub off Danhausen, but no. Roman's got a big match on the show, mate. I'll do this bit. You read out the rest. So we have Roman Reigns versus Jalen Brunson. Oh, no. Roman Reigns appears with, sorry, mate. They've literally done a graphic. It looks like it's a match. I double took at it. Too many Jalens in the NBA, but Jalen Brunson, I think he's in the NBA, and Roman Reigns.
Gotta be. Yeah. Once again, I haven't done me. He's got to be up here in the Knicks. And listen, this could be another. With your boy Eric Andre, Benno, with a little bit of a rub off the celebrities. I
was going to mention that before again. That fucking Cena film, rubbish.
Beat the shit out of Eric Andre, didn't he? So they might repeat this with Jalen, or you might get Seth coming out for a save, or something will happen, won't it? I mean, it can't just be him. He might turn on him, or like just put him down. I don't know what the fuck you've got planned, but it's just good to see Roman, to hear his music, see the guy. That's what we want, Benno. That'll do me.
You sure? I mean, could he not do anything? Could he not wrestle? You know, like, no.
We're saving ourselves for SummerSlam, Ben. We've got the big main event night 2. So
it's a while away, mate. Still like 3 weeks.
Boxed. The lads boxed it off. So it's.
So you got to like box him off and like save him from hurting himself, mate. Like, you know, be careful with him. Yeah. Fragile. Mark the box fragile. Is that what we're saying?
Protect your investments in your main events, Ben. But who knows? Even I'm like, what are they going to do with this? As I say, it's great to see him, yeah, but what will they do here? Is it going to be a celebrity, as you say, like Fatu type of angle vehicle where he attacks him and Seth?
It'll have to be, won't it?
Got to be.
I mean, in fairness, with the I guess the runtime's not as much of a deal anymore with it not being on proper TV, but yeah, like 2 hours to get all those matches in and do a big angle. I'm sure they'll manage it. I imagine short matches is what you're getting. Danhausen should go 25 minutes, but maybe that'll go 5. I think it'll be fine. 25
seconds he should go. That's being generous. But anyway,
not up to much though, is it, mate? That not up to much. And no pay-per-view this month, you know. Technically,
no, as I said before, it's not when you first cold read it on paper, you go, oof. Even I went, oof. But then when you break the logic down of their thinking, you know, it's like, well, I say a title change. Developing feud that's happened, Danhausen getting his moments, and your big Candy coexist SummerSlam main event tag. It's not as bad when you contextualize it. Does that be word of the day? But if you look at it cold, you don't watch everything. You go, yeah, that's a bit of a stinker.
You know what, mate? You've convinced me. I am excited for AEW Redemption. Can't wait. I needed that.
Match be good. That's what
could be worse. Well, what's wrong with that? Not wrong with it, is there?
Match be good. I want context. Go on, move on.
All right. Also Raw, but we don't have any card for that, of course, is on Monday. But that takes us into the G1. Like I say, me and JP talked the G1 early in the week. I did, quick note, I enjoyed the G1 USA card. It wasn't up to, a whole lot, but it was good enough. It was good enough is probably the word. And like, yeah, I still already have my little favourites. Roy Hayowa was fantastic there against Oleg Bolton. I was going to say Bolton Oleg then. I always get that the wrong way around. And yeah, Takeshita and Tsuji it was fine, but, G1 main event, you might have expected a little bit more, as we talked about there. And yeah, Oscar and Yuta Weiss are kind of the people I'm watching in this tournament as well. But we do have starting off day 2 on the 18th, which will be Saturday, from Sapporo. We have Drilla Maloney versus Gabe Kidd, with Gabe Kidd finally joining the field after not being able to travel to America. Sanada versus Great Khan, Jake Lee versus Kanosuke Takeshita, Yuta Ice versus Ola Bolton, speaking of which. Shingo versus Roy Oiwa. That could be fun. And Goto versus Yota Tsuji. Not a bad main event for the proper start of the G1, I would say, with it being a show in Japan. We also have day 3, the day after. This also from Sapporo. We have Shota Umino versus Aaron Wolf on that one. Drilla Maloney versus Hanare. Gabe Kidd versus Oscar. Ren Narita, could be all right there. Ren Narita versus Callum Newman. And Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yua Yamura to look forward to. And then day 4 from Sendai, we have Goto versus Jake Lee. Great Khan versus Rui Hayoa. Konosuke Takeshita versus Yuto Ice. Sanada versus Yota Tsuji. Sanada's going to be shitting about this entire tournament. And Shingo versus Oleg Boltman. And then the last one, before we next record on Wednesday, is the day 5 card from Nagata, Japan. We have Gabe Kidd versus Aaron Wolf. We have Hanare versus Oscar. We have Drilla Maloney versus Yua Yamura. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Callum Newman. That could be an interesting one. I think Zack will be working the Ospreay match with old Callum Newman. And Shota Umino versus Ren Narita on that one. Any of those names stand out to you, Matty, or anything you fancy seeing from the G1? Or the G1 USA cards?
Gabe Kidd's probably the only name, like Takeshita, obviously, but see him.
You'd like Oscar and Yuto Ice, you would.
Okay, fair play. I'll have to check them out. Gabe Kidd.
Oscar's tall and European. Yuto Ice is like doing like a rapper gimmick. They're a weird like odd couple tag team, but they're fucking great. Moves, you'd see them in PWG, mates. PWG was going, they'd have booked them by now.
Even just seeing Drilla Maloney in a G1 Benno's wild, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? So
he's doing well. He was on the pre-show, the pay-per-view in AEW.
Yeah, fair play. So it's a listen. All I hear about New Japan over the last couple of years is that it's dead and it needs fresh people. To me, you can't get any fresher than that, whether that's good or bad. But there's no, apart from Sanada, there's no like clinging on. I know Shingo's an old name, but he's still someone who's relevant and a great.
They're trying with the younger people.
Yeah, it's fresh to me.
I didn't want to get ahead of myself with the G1 USA card, but pretty much everyone I would put over went over. And I thought that was a good sign. But also a reminder to yourself that it is a round robin tournament and they're all going to be doing jobs too. But I think it was a good. But they put the right people, wins and losses matter, mate. It's all about points. But put the right people over and put the right foot forward is definitely a strong point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to keep on watching with the G1 this week. On top of that note, I've got to show Summer Epic from Intex Osaka Hall. I assume that's not the Osaka Hall. I assume that's something else. But I'll just give you the top matches. Naito versus Keito Kiyomiya is on that show this weekend. That is also a Saturday show. And we also have Aita versus Bushi and Passionate Rattels versus Team 2000X, Masaki Tamiya and Takashi Sugiura. Oh, it's Manabu Sawyer and Yuki Ino. Fair enough. And Naomichi Marufuji versus Keno is on the show for the GHC national title. That sounds tasty. And Shane Haste versus Ozawa is on the show. Dragon 8 also running from Kobe Wares Hall with the Kobe Pro Wrestling Festival. That one is headlined by Madoka Kikuta versus KZ for the Open the Dreamgate title. Ryoya Tanaka versus Homari versus the Brave Gate title. And we have an Open the Twin Gate title match between Gaja Zakuro, don't kill me Alan Farrell and anybody else for these pronunciations, versus Koto Minora versus Yuki Yoshiaka. And there we go. That is your roundup of everything going on in Japan this weekend, or at least the big cards going on in Japan this weekend, if you fancy.
Just get on Bash Heel for them now at Discourse there. That's all I'll be looking for. I know he's going to be loving it, so get on that. Get on him for any matches recommended there, guys.
There we go. And what else we got going on, Matty? Is it yellow? I mean green or pink or yellow. What colour is this? On your screen, what colour is it?
This Magic Ticket Battle Royal. Yeah, that one. So the background that you highlighted in it is green. And the wording to me is like light pink.
I mean, no.
But it is, yeah. Genuinely is.
Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of you. This
I was going to say, you can't laugh at my fucking...
Sorry. I'm going to throw it on screen now. Folks, what colour is that? What colour is that? Anyway.
Oh, no, Ben. No, Ben, I'm on dark mode. That's why. I can't see the yellow, genuinely. It's not white, my background's black. That's why we get... It's not my shit eyes. Yeah, fucking hell.
This is the type of content you get on the weekend, folks. Sorry. That's why you should watch the video version and be a live picture.
Do you want me to read this fucking card from the... What are we on here, Benno? Produce Volume 2. I've got a show from the Orange Crush, Jersey City in New Jersey, the White Eagle Hall, where you've wrestled many a times there, Benno. And we've got a magic ticket battle royal, mate. If you want me to read this, there's no name.
The blue ones are the skip ones.
Oh, the blue ones, the skip ones. Oh, Sam, mate. See that one. Oh, right, okay. I was going to read that for the viewers there.
It's got a lot of matches on it, folks, but Matty's going to tell you the highlights because he's definitely read this before we started.
The Revolver World Title, Undisputed Independent World Wrestling Title. That's what it is. It must be 2 belts combined. No disqualification match with a special big enforcer battle of Nick Gage. You've got Mance Warner versus Mad Dog Connolly. Sure, Gareth might be tuning into that one.
Sounds all right, that.
And for the Ring of Honor Pure title, which Gareth will be definitely tuning into, is Lee Moriarty, one of his favourites, going up against Jonathan Gresham, Benno.
Yeah, this is produce, and that's the phrase they're using. You might have heard that somewhere before. Produce, depends what country you're from. And again, similar to the other promotion, but yeah, this is that you must have seen it, that dickhead promoter who used to promote what were they called? Not JCW. That you'd have like the daytime shows for GCW, and it'd be them. And he just can't help himself on Twitter. But like, he's done every early promoter mistake in the book. Like, he's the one who did the tweet about like, if you take a WWE booking or you take another booking instead of mine, then we won't ever book you again. It's like, mate, you've ran one show, and this is his second show. There are 10 matches on the main card and a battle royal. It's called the Magic Ticket Battle Royal, which I assume would be some kind of pre-show thing, but that's your 11th match. Like, I mean, there's some good names on there, you know. Joey Janela, Darian Bankston on the show, Adrian Quest versus man like Derice, but yeah, it's got all the hallmarks of
it's the good ones.
Beastman versus Marco Stunt. Actually, maybe I want to watch that.
There'll be some all right names in there, but we're moving on then, Benno, to there's a lot of wrestling going on over this weekend. Whether you quotation marks the where's wrestling there, guys, is up to yourselves, but we've got Scenic City Invitational Tournament.
The SCI, mate. Big tournaments every year. You not watching that on your indie days?
Didn't you know, Ben? That's one that eluded me, escaped me. But in the main event, Benno, once again doing double duty over the weekend, of course, top indie worker for the undisputed independent wrestling world title. We've got Mance Warner up against John Wayne Murdoch, mate, in the main event. Does that tickle your fancy?
More than the tournament does. Like, the tournament field, like, again, we'll go through every match, but like Tyler Stevens, Chase Holiday, I don't know, might be all right. Rest of it, like, it is a lot of like undiscovered names and people from that area, but there you go. That is taking place this weekend.
Also going on, Benno, we've got, obviously it wouldn't be a weekend without GCW running a couple of cards, Benno, in the Dallas, Texas. On the first night, we've got for the world title, we've got Atticus Cougar defending against Emerson Jane. And on the second night, when they did that, Oklahoma, USA, we've got, we'll pretty much read the full card here, Ben, the big one. We've got 6-man tag, Buster in the Brain versus Leeds Lewis. Buster in the Brain and Leeds Lewis versus Team Bizarre Underground of Graham Bell, Mr. Nasty, and Titan Yin. JP's not even here. We've got a singles match of your man Joey Janela versus Wrangler Rhett, Benno. I've never heard of him in my life. Have you? Couldn't tell you what he looks like.
Not a chance. And what's the main event, mate?
Okay, the main event is a tag team match. These are only meant to be read out, so they're not bad calls and audible there. We've got a tag team match in the main event, Benno. Mirroring Saturday night's main events. We've got Cowboy Way of One Call Manders and Thomas Shire versus VNDL 48 of Atticus Cougar and Otis Cougar.
There you go.
Wild.
You're a fan of the Cougars,
no, it's nuts though, Ben. I've
Cougars.
never watched that match in my whole life. Ever. I'll never watch it. Carry on.
Now you've got it. The last one for your recommendations at the weekend, and traditionally a big one for Rev Pro. They have the Summer Sizzler card this weekend, and Summer Sizzler this year from Bradford. Been to Bradford, mate? Bradford, Yorkshire.
Have I ever been? I don't think I've ever been to Bradford. I was thinking this the other day when I went to London. I was saying like, what places in the UK haven't I visited? And that's one of them. So yeah, there you go, Ben.
Well, it's got Alexis Falconer versus Holly Barlow on the show. We have Luke Jacobs versus Liam Slater on the show as well. We have RPD, good to see, versus HMD. There you go. Battle of the Initials.
Not a music shop.
Back in the day, mate, great times. We could have met. We could have been great friends. Instead of what we are now. Did I say Joshua versus Leon Cage?
You did.
Depends on the day. Michael Oku versus Leon Slater. You know all of it. Michael Oku, Leon Slater is the other big match on that card, as far as I can tell. Not in Cage, not listed anywhere, but going through the images on the Rev Pro Twitter. Sorted. Oh, Andy's going to that one. There you go. Have a great one. But yeah, there you go. That's your wrestling going on this weekend, as well as everything else we've talked. We'll keep it short, Matty. We ran a little bit longer on this one. We just had too much of a good time, mate, as the great friends we are. What are your plans this weekend?
As long as you did, then it's all right. Then, you know, like...
Oh, mate, that just hurts like a dagger to my heart.
I'm joking.
Unbelievable. I know Dave Meltzer didn't have a good time today, but you know,
that's not more I love. No matter what.
And what are you up to, folks? Let us know in the chat.
Not more I love, no matter what day of the week it is, whatever day ends in a Y. I'm talking to you, Ben, and talking not with the business, not more I love, mate. But it's
bring that back. There's a podcast idea.
Weekend plans are very, very short, Ben. Couple of sly ones, not too wild tomorrow with Ali, my sister's fella. So I haven't seen him for a while before he's in work the next 4 weeks. I'll catch up with him. But I'm free as a bird this weekend, Ben, especially with, well, obviously recording Brett's Show Sunday with Gareth, but other than that, still getting the kitchen sorted, still getting the house sorted, going to rearrange all my figures because I've went figure wild since about last October, so we need to actually make a list of what I've bought, what I've got, get me shelves behind me rearranged, so just a little bit of pottering around the house, mate, saving a few bob, and we move on to the next one, Ben. What about yourself?
Class. I'll just point out, man, like Dries Fisher, Samuel's apparently also on that Red Pro show. Got to be fair. Andy saying I had a lazy weekend. Ewan, telling to what I'm up to, mate. Go and see the Odyssey. I'm going to go tomorrow as well. It's showing over here in Vietnam. And like I said to JP, anytime there's an English language film that's got a big release, I'm there. Don't care what it is. Superman, Supergirl, you know, fucking anything. Like, I will literally go see anything. And yeah, the Odyssey is on tomorrow. So I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I don't always love Christopher Nolan's films, but yeah, they're always at least worth a go. They're always at least interesting.
Bit mad, aren't they, Ben? Bit mad. Yeah. You got to follow it. You know, you're obsessed with time, isn't he? You know what I mean? So we should like it, really. Sleep and time.
Inception was not for me.
Terrible. Overrated to fuck. Like Inception, definitely was. Didn't love Interstellar either.
Now that you've seen it, who does dreams more realistically and better, The Sopranos or Inception?
Oh, Sopranos, Ben, they're more random, aren't they? They're honestly, genuinely like...
You walk into a room and you're in a different room and like you look at somebody and I'm talking to you and then I blink and like all of a sudden you're like Gareth or something like that. Like that's dreams, isn't it? No, fucking bullshit they were doing in Inception. Wasn't realistic enough for me, mate, the sci-fi film about time travel and traveling through dreams. But no, I am looking forward to going and it'll be a fun day out. Cheap popcorn, mate, £1.50 ticket and about £2 for the popcorn and drink combo. So,
Ben, is it a mix? I haven't mentioned that. Is it like
caramel?
Oh, is it actually just caramel, is it?
Yeah, they have like a caramel, like there's it's like caramel toffee or something like that. I'll get the exact one, but it's fucking amazing. It's amazing. You can get regular sweet stuff as well, but that's like that's worth like the very slight upgrade. And yeah, big Pepsi as well. But I just enjoy the day out. I enjoy going. I enjoy, Vietnamese cinema, and walk. I honestly enjoy like using my little Rumpy app and going, okay, this is a 3-hour film. All right, this is when I'm going below. Like I just have a good day out. So looking forward to it. I'll get some Thai food as well. And then Sunday watching the World Cup. That's the other big one. Look forward to it.
Two things, Ben. Sorry for keeping everyone. Two things I haven't done in America yet is get the actual train, which I've got to do next time, and go to cinema. We were close every occasion to go to cinema that we've been, and we've just either been tired or it's a late showing. Just need to do it, Ben. But tentative plans for next year on the horizon again, Ben, for America. So,
okay, not this year.
No. Put to bed SummerSlam. It was the greatest pipe dream. It was the greatest price up of all time. But...
Instead, you're going to Saturday night's main event. See Danhausen.
But instead, I'm getting a nice takeaway and I'm making a nice cheese ball for night 2. So I've already got my plans for this SummerSlam. But unfortunately, they're at home. But yeah, good plans day weekend. I say, hope everyone has a great weekend, Ben. I always got to say that when I'm on this show, mate. I hope everyone's safe, sound, and has a great weekend.
Platt said he's in work as usual, but at least he'll get the Sunday off. I'll get into it. To that in a little minute. People give me some grief about my takes there, Andy saying he's a Tenet fan. People not having the Inception slander, Simon.
No, listen, I get we're the minority when it comes to Inception, Ben. But Andy's the
I'll give it a rewatch. There you go.
Andy's the minority when it comes to Tenet, because he's the only one that everyone who likes Nolan even says, "Oh, that's a bit of a rough one." So fair play, Andy. Fair play.
Well, no pre-show this weekend, so there you go. We had to get it out of our system. But yeah, World Cup final. I'm still looking forward to it, mate. Still the World Cup final. I'll be watching that on Sunday night and hopefully having a few beers as well. You said he should have requested we previewed the head drop show. Could have requested it, mate.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Matty, what else I got covered up? Sorry.
We give it a little plug. I give the Brett Show the year hard plug, which hopefully everyone will enjoy. Episode 25. Once again, the clue to the year thing is we'll be done finally line in the sand with the cunt when we finish with them this episode. But also coming up Monday, Benno, as you say, no Patreon show this week. That's why Bretro's there. Will be Monday night where Michael Hamflet will be joining us, and not to talk the Fed. It's to talk the ongoing series of Bash of the Beach that we're doing. They're covering the old WCW. There's my impression of whoever that was back in the day. But it's Bash of the Beach 1998, following on from the 1996. So I haven't started the own work yet, Benno, but looking forward. Can't remember matches. Remember one match off the top of my head on the card, so I'll be in, and I'll go in, like, don't go and research the card, I just put it on. Got my hard drive, the original copy from the pay-per-view at the time, so can't wait.
Sounds like Louis Theroux's conversation with Raven. You know, you haven't done any research, you don't know anything about me, you just turn up, watch it, you know, discover as you go. No, I'm looking forward to it. Like,
killed me off here, sorry. Double Chavo Plat. Oh, this is my worst nightmare.
I don't want to spoil you. Yeah, to be fair, it's at a point where he is at least half interesting. But yes, me and Hamflet are like literally like we're a little bit ahead recording, but we're pretty much at this point in the year with WWF. At least by the time we record, we'll have recorded another episode. We'll be very close to where we are here with WCW. It wasn't even planned. It just landed perfectly. So it's going to be so fun to see what was going on the other channel as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. So yeah, like I say, if you missed it, Retro will be out on Sunday. So you do get a Patreon show on Sunday. Yeah. And then Monday, that will be out probably later on by the time I can get the edit sorted for that one. And then, yeah, we'll have me and you will be doing the live. But with that said, we'll just doing Sunday and Monday. We'll give you the day off. We won't do Tuesday this week. We'll do Wednesday. I think that makes sense. And you've got some work commitments as well. So makes sense. And then we'll be back with JP for the weekend show the week after. And then, yeah, off to the races from there. Fuck, I've just realised. It's Eddie's King of the Mountain after that, isn't it? Jesus, better get going on that Shibata homework. But
you better get started. You better get.
There'll be a labour of love. Look forward to
after that fucking 6-hour Odyssey film, mate. You got an AEW pay-per-view cover up. A lot of 6-hour sprints here, mate, for you.
Can't wait. Life I chose, mate, and I'm glad I chose it. It's great times.
Okay,
well, you whatever you did.
I've loved this on the debut on the weekend, Ben. So long may it continue. Same old format, just a different name, Benno. Who would have thought it?
There you go, and you've set me up perfectly to say, yeah, to the free people who are out there, not used to getting this on your feeds every Friday, it will be every single Friday. Usually me and JP, we did a swap this week with it being Saturday night's main event this weekend, and me and JP chatted the G1 USA show on the Patreon live. But yes, you will get the weekend free every Friday now. But yeah, if you fancy joining us over on the Patreon, you can get all the shows we just mentioned, as well as those Patreon lives now every week, and the Spotlight reviews, which will now live on the Patreon side as a little bit of a trade-off as well as everything else. So yeah, like I say, code on the Patreon page. Great time to join. But outside of that, thank you to our patrons. Thank you to our YouTube members. Without all you guys, we couldn't do this. And thank you, of course, to our kings and queens of the mountain: Conor Laughlin, Eddie Sadburns, Chris Platt, Carl Gack, Sophia Hitchcock, Sam Mulvaney, Marty Ellis, and Dylan Shaw. We will see you all again on the next one.
Ta-da.
Scouse. Good night, Tom.
Lovely food as well, that.